What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up? It is the second day of the month, the second day of the year, and another opportunity to do great things. What's up to my friends and family? I appreciate y'all for continuing to hold me down and rock with me. We got to do a couple of updates on housekeeping. We have a Patreon exclusive live stream today. It is going to be absolutely awesome. And we got good energy, man. That's the thing. It's about good energy. I want y'all to make sure that y'all understand that your energy, where your energy flows, that's what you're gonna get back to you. If you coming in and you waking up every day on this negative nonsense, it's not gonna make sense for you. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and get a couple of housekeeping items out of the way. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to my dog ESDC. Thank you for holding us down on Cash App. Also, my guy Mike, that dude. I appreciate you also. You know I love you, Mike. Shout out to my guy Mike, that dude. Studio updates. So I have some things, some TVs being installed. We also have some lights going in, some new lights, updating cameras, microphones. So we going through that process in the studio. My anticipation of being back in the studio to do the Millionaire Morning Show, to do all of the new shows that I have coming up, is not next week, but the week after. Okay. So the week after the inauguration. Again, let me say that again. The week after, or actually towards the end of that week, but basically towards the end of the week of the inauguration and the week after. You know, somewhere around that, we tinker and we testing with different things. We got to make sure that we get everything right. And so that way, when we get into the new studio, we going to be running. Now, with that update, I also want to let you guys know that we are going to be gradually moving the time back, right? So as you can see, we got started around the 10:30 hour. We usually get started somewhere between 10:50, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We rolled that back. So by the time that we get back into the studio, hopefully you guys don't notice too much of a difference, but we are going to be gradually rolling back the time at the time that we then live stream because I want to consistently start the show around the 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm not going to just throw y'all into the mire. We're going to roll back 10, 15 minutes, roll it back 5, 10, 15 minutes. And then by the time, a week and a half, a couple weeks from now, that we start live streaming, and we get everything popping, you guys will then start to be in a better space, and then you'll be able to consistently get to that bag. Now, this is not as big of a change as y'all think it is, because I remember at one point I had rolled it back to like 8 a.m. Eastern. It was really, really morning time, but I'm trying to pick the best time for accommodating for everybody in every time zone. I know we got watchers in Canada. I know we got watchers in Mexico. I know we got watchers in Japan, different parts of Africa, UK. Shout out to everybody that continues to hold us down all over the globe. But I'm really trying to focus on the best time as far as morning, competing with legacy media. Okay, legacy media. If this is going to be the Millionaire Morning Show, it has to be the Millionaire Morning Show. It cannot be the Millionaire Afternoon Show. You know what I'm saying? We have programming scheduled, and I will be giving you guys updates on different changes that's going to be happening on all of my platforms. And so we making upgrades across the board. We're gonna be tinkering with some things, but it has to be the Millionaire Morning Show. All right, it has to be the Millionaire Morning Show. It cannot be the Millionaire Afternoon Show forever. So I want y'all to catch it on your drive in. For the people on the West Coast, when you're waking up in the morning, I want it to be the first thing that you listen to. For everybody that's in the daycare, I need y'all to be getting y'all day started with it, and we going to run it up. So it's going to be 9 a.m. This is in a few weeks. 9 a.m. Eastern, right? 8 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Mountain, and 6 a.m. Pacific. And if you just tuning in, we just going through housekeeping. I want to make sure that everybody is straight. But again, I wanted to get it in the 9 o'clock hour. Some people are saying 9:30. Okay, all right. Let me go ahead and take a little bit of a visual poll. All right. I know it's a lot of people that just like to watch in general. Y'all have me on the TV. You can't necessarily type in the chat. What time y'all want? What up, Mika? What up? What time y'all want? I'm voting, because the chat is my co host. I am voting for 9 a.m. Eastern, and then you adjust for whatever your time zone is. It can't be 10 o'clock, y'all. It can't be that. It got to be earlier than that. I'm voting 9 a.m. What do y'all want? Y'all tell me what makes the most sense for y'all. I'm going to do what I do in UX. I want to get some insight from the users. I see 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Okay. Some people saying 9:30. 9 and 9:30. Some people saying 10, 8:30, 9 a.m. Now, remember when y'all giving me this insight, I see all of y'all typing in the chat. I want y'all to also take into consideration what your time zone is. So what I'm asking, I want y'all to give me what y'all want on Eastern, right? So if you in Central and you really want it to be 8 a.m. Central, then you're supposed to tell me 9 a.m. I see a lot of nines. 9:45, 9:45, 9 Pacific. No, you got to adjust for that. 9 a.m. Pacific, that's 12 p.m. Nah, dog. Nope, 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 nope. How about this? Let's do, because I see everybody saying 9 makes sense. I'll guarantee that I get started sometime between 9 and 9:15. That's the best I can do. Maybe 9 and 9:30. I don't know, depending on where we at that time and what the time zone is. But just giving y'all some insight on what the new changes are going to be and what you can look forward to. So we are going to be rolling that back. You will see me with a different uniform on, so I will not be with a t-shirt on this year. We are going to upgrade everything. We got to upgrade everything. And I plan on getting this gray up out of my beard soon, and you probably won't see any gray any longer for a little while. So just giving y'all a heads up. Maybe today. Might get the gray out of there today. So, yep. We're gonna shoot for 9. We're not doing 9:30 West Coast Pacific time. No, we're not doing that. We're gonna shoot for 9. We're gonna truly make this the Millionaire Morning Show. Morning show. Not afternoon show, not evening show, morning show. All right. So that, and then we got after hours tonight. So make sure y'all tune in to after hours. And again, if you are not a part of the Bag Chasers, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description, as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Do not miss the live stream that we have today. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Do not miss the live stream that we have popping off today. Why is that important? Because I want you to get rich. and you need to understand how we move with money in certain circles. It is much different than what they're teaching you online. It's much different than how it is that you are projecting it as far as these basic budgets. You go on TikTok, you go on these stupid sites, and they give you, here, come budget with me my $950 paycheck. Hey, come budget with me. This is how much I make per year. Hey, come budget with me. I'm a nurse, and this is what I make, and this is why I can't pay my bills. We're not doing that no more. That's dead. Everything we go on high level. All right, high level. If you want to catch up, go and watch the old videos. It is a older budgeting video based off of percentages. Go and watch that, and then come into the live stream today. And I push the live stream back a little bit so you can have some time to go and watch it. Go watch that. Everything. Stock club, block club, taxes, budgeting, building, real estate, everything. We going high level this year. All right. We're going high level this year. None of that dusty stuff. None of that. Come budget with me. We going high level. High level this year, all right? So I'm going to teach you a little bit differently. I think that y'all going to love it, and we going to rock out, all right? Why not 9:45 a.m. Eastern? I think that is more reasonable for all time zones inside of the U.S. To be honest with you, is mainly because I'm paying attention to what legacy media is doing. And I'm also paying attention to what time a lot of people get up, get out, getting about. I want to be the first thing that's on your mind in the day. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll continue to find out what y'all think, but we definitely going to get to it. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get it popping. Let me go ahead and acknowledge my girl, Mika. Shout out to Mika. Says, good morning, AD and chat. Stay blessed. Mika will be on the after hours tonight. All right. And we're going to get it popping. Thank you, Mika. I appreciate you. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get started with the show. So we got a lot to cover today. We got to go over what's going on in Las Vegas. We got to go over what's going on in New Orleans. We have to do a review video of a YouTuber that is saying that they decided to quit YouTube. Gonna get to that. We got to get to Elon Musk, Cybertrucks, man throwing dogs off a bridge, all kind of nonsense. But it all comes back down to the money. Shout out to Tyree. Tyree, I appreciate you. Tyree says the high level game. That's what we want today. We want high level 2025 and going forward. Shout out to Tyree. I love you. I appreciate you. We gonna get it. We running it up. If y'all not a part of the Chasers, shame on you. If you're not a part of the Chasers, shame on your family. If you're not a part of the Chasers, that's unfortunate for your kids. If you're not a part of the Chasers and you don't have kids, that's unfortunate for your legacy. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started. We got Quick Hits. Quick Hits is a segment of the show that we don't necessarily think we need to dedicate an entire segment to, but we want to keep y'all in the loop on what's going on in these streets. All right? Let's get to it. First things first, in Detroit, on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, which was yesterday, all right, the police had a conundrum on their hands. And the conundrum was, it was multiple wrong-way drivers going down the freeway. Take a look.
Okay, Kim, well, staying on the roads and being safe is a priority any night in Metro Detroit, and especially tonight for New Year's Eve.
No, yeah, we've been tracking the wrong-way drivers all year long, and we've had 2 wrong-way drivers just today. Let's go to Sean Lay along Interstate 75 with the first wrong-way driver that happened earlier today. Sean.
And Ty, what Kim was just talking about, weather conditions not getting any better here, actually deteriorating. So what we're seeing are wet roads and high winds. What Kim was talking about, we could see some freezing out here. That's one thing to talk about. You're talking about wrong way drivers. That's what we're focusing on right now. The first one here, Warren, 75 and Warren. So another wrong way driver on 75. The other one at 13 in Woodward and Royal Oak. I want to show you that one first.
Local 4 cameras are here in Royal Oak this afternoon for yet another wrong-way driver. We are told the driver of this van was speeding the wrong way on Woodward Avenue at 13 Mile, crossed the median, and crashed right at the dance studio on the east side of Woodward. Royal Oak police telling me they're still investigating what went wrong here. Let me take you to I-75 in Warren. Earlier today, MSP called for another wrong-way driver yet again on I-75. This time the driver did not hit anyone, the driver hit the wall. More wrong-way drivers as DDOT bus driver Robert Glenn remains in the hospital right now after getting hit by a wrong-way driver on the Lodge 2 weeks ago. Today his family remains by his side.
How is Robert alive right now? How did he survive this?
Nothing but the grace of God.
We have tracked wrong-way drivers throughout 2024. Just 2 months ago, a wrong-way driver hit and killed 3 men in a minivan in Madison Heights on I-75. Law enforcement continues to investigate if these wrong-way drivers are all under the influence or if they're confused by signage getting on and off freeways. Bottom line, local crime and safety expert Darnell Blackburn tells us we all need to be on the lookout and be ready to get out of the way.
You also have to be prepared to defensively drive. That means keeping both hands on the steering wheel. And if a vehicle is coming towards you, you can maintain better control by swerving and avoiding a head-on collision.
I got a better idea. All right. I got a much, much better idea. And this is one of the reasons why I stay out of the mix on certain days, because I just don't want to be involved. The best way to stay out of harm's way, because listen, it's not even about what you get yourself into. You could just be mosey-woseying right along the freeway, and the next thing you know, you see multiple wrong-way drivers that is inebriated, decided that they want to get into the car, mad, somebody mad at their baby mama, they decide to just jump on the freeway going the wrong way, and next thing you know, you injure somebody, maim them, kill them. And usually what happens is it's not the person that is driving a car that suffers, is usually the one who get hit and they had no idea that it was coming. So yeah, man, I just stay out the way, bro. I try to as much as I can. Some stuff you just can't avoid, but I try to stay out the way as much as possible because I know y'all out here crazy. That's why I was in the house on New Year's Eve. Also, they are calling this an attack, a possible attack. They're stopping short of saying it's a terrorist attack, but 10 people were shot outside of a nightclub in Queens. Check it out.
That breaking news that we mentioned in Queens, 10 people shot outside of a New Year's party at a nightclub in Jamaica.
Yeah, the NYPD holding a press conference overnight saying at least a group of men fired at least 30 shots into that crowd. And thankfully, all of the victims are expected to survive. That's where we find Eyewitness News reporter Phil Tate live in Jamaica with more on the search for the gun. Phil.
Yeah, Pedro, Charlene, right now an active investigation is underway as they try and track down 3 to 4 men that shot at a crowd outside of the Amazura nightclub, sending 10 people to the hospital. I want you all to take a live look right now at this active crime scene. Investigators are hard at work. About 30 markers are down right now. Again, this happened right here in Jamaica. They are looking through every inch of this frozen crime scene. Now, it appears that there was a private event that was taking place at this space with about 90 people inside when those bullets flew around 11:30 last night, causing panic, injuring 6 women and 4 men between the ages of 16 to 20. Now, cops say it was a dangerous scene as about 30 shots were fired before the suspect, still at large, got away in a gray Infiniti with out-of-state plates. Now, police right now recovering evidence along the 100th and
That's a Stoli. That's a Stoli. A gray Xfinity with out-of-state plates. That's a Stoli. And they're using false license plates in order to get around the city.
44th Place Street outside of the club, which is now a massive crime scene. Now, Chief of Patrol Philip Rivera spoke out just a short time ago as to how this all unfolded. Let's take a listen.
4 males were walking eastbound on 91st Avenue onto 144th Place towards the venue. 3 to 4 males then opened fire over 30 times in the direction of the group standing outside the event space, striking multiple victims. There's zero tolerance for these senseless shootings.
Ain't it, Shania?
These horrible acts of violence on our streets.
A lot of stuff happening.
And those responsible for this crime will be apprehended and brought to justice.
Now, right now, you're taking a live look at the more than 30 markers which now line the street here on 144th Place. Investigators are hard at work as they continue to search for any clues that would help them provide any answers as to how this all went down. Police say that this was not an act of terror. Now, if this was gang-related, they say that that is an avenue that they are now pursuing, but it is still.
I considered it all an act of terror. I don't know what y'all define as a terror group now. Is it got to be outside of the United States of America? What's going on? If somebody is out here shooting up something and doing something that they're not supposed to do and 10 people get injured, I think that's an act of terror, if you ask me. And then last but not least, I know my dog lovers is going to be upset at this one. A man is arrested, or a suspect. I don't know if that's a man or a woman. Now I'm thinking about it. Tavoris and Mary Rivers is charged with misdemeanor animal cruelty for throwing dogs off the Dog River Bridge. Check it out. It's crazy.
We've got breaking details right now on a story about 2 dogs thrown from the Dog River Bridge.
Tonight, an 18-year-old and a 71-year-old face animal cruelty charges.
Natalie Williamson working on this story tonight. Those 2 were taken into custody, you say, in just the last few hours.
Yeah, that's right, Lenny and Cameron. Robert Bryant with the City of Mobile Animal Services says they didn't have much information on the suspect after the dogs were thrown off the bridge on Saturday. But with the help of Mobile police and the community, they were able to track down the 2 suspects, Tavoris Gallery and Mary Rivers, in just a few days.
She wouldn't have killed dogs.
That's 18-year-old.
Oh, he was already snitching. Hey, we ain't even got into the story yet. And the first thing he said, see? See? First thing that came out of his mouth is she wanted to kill the dogs. It was her fault. Hey, it was her. It was all her. Ladies, see, you used to seeing this happening on the First 48 and guys telling on their homeboys that they go out here and do crime with. It's different now. They telling on you immediately before they even get into the negotiating room, before they even get interrogated. He walking out and he's saying it's her fault. She wanted to do it. She asked for the dogs. I didn't want them, and so I was just an accomplice. I was made to do it, and there's nothing that I could do about it. He was telling immediately, no. Slow down. Let me get back to that. Let me hear what he had to say.
Few days.
She wouldn't have killed dogs.
That's 18-year-old Tavoris Gallery, one of 2 people accused of throwing these 2 miniature pinchers off the Dog River Bridge Saturday. Police also arresting 71-year-old Mary Rivers, who was also let out of the Mobile 1st Precinct Wednesday night. It's a story that captured the attention of many within the community. 2 little dogs thrown off Dog River Bridge on December 28th. Photos of this black SUV making its way around social media, getting thousands of shares, all to help identify the people responsible for this act of animal cruelty. The 911 call came in around 3:30 p.m. Saturday after DJ Perryman says he heard a loud splash while he was at the River Shack, followed by gasps of people.
We first thought it was a person jumping, and then we looked out and saw the 2 heads swimming and realized it wasn't a person but an animal.
Police say these 2 dogs were thrown off this bridge, which stands 73 feet above water. Lieutenant Tina Zanko with MPD says she, along with Corporal Paul Lee with MPD and Lieutenant Bailey McDonough with Daphne Search and Rescue, were able to get the dogs quickly, bringing them to shore, wrapping them in towels, and giving them lots of love and care. Animal Services say the dogs are in good spirits and health and being cared for by a foster family. Investigators say they were questioning people along Clubhouse and Alba Club roads Wednesday when a patrol officer spotted a vehicle matching the description of the vehicle they were looking for. That's when police initiated a traffic stop and detained Rivers and Gallery. Robert Bryant, director of Mobile Animal Services, says it shows just how hard people work to hold others accountable.
This is up amongst the top of the things you see when you see such intent to cause harm. It is pretty bad.
Let me tell you something. There's a couple things wrong with this. The first thing that's wrong with it is y'all really is out here being monsters. So you just went over on the bridge 73 feet in the air and you said, we're going to toss this dog out. We're going to toss them both out the window. I would like to think that they have animal shelters and stuff like that for that. And I'm not familiar because I'm not a dog owner. I'm not heavy on the pets. But y'all let me know inside of the chat. What is the process if you then, cause see, back in the hood, usually they just let their dog out the thing and he just roam free and nobody even care. Next thing you know, you just see a random wild dog walking down the street. And we was used to wild dogs, and that's why they started giving the mailman pepper spray. You know, they needed to give him bear spray, but they was giving him pepper spray. Wasn't nothing to see a pit bull just running up and down the street. What is the process? What is the process for taking a dog that you no longer want or can't care for and, you know, sending them to a shelter or something like that? Is it the same thing with because I know with babies and kids, you could just be like, hey man, I can't take care of this kid no more. I'm about to drop this kid off at the foster home and the shelter. You take them, and then it's the taxpayers' responsibilities to take it back. You know. Oh, Brian, you so wild. Drop it off a General Shaw ticking. Stop it. Stop it. But he is. These are monsters. Just don't want to throw a couple dogs off the bridge. What they didn't count on is the dogs like, aha, joke's on you. We can swim. And so the dogs swim to safety. And what they also didn't count on is the people. Now, let me tell you something about people. One thing I know about people, and the two things is for sure, is that people love animals more than they love people. People love animals more than they love people. Listen, go into somewhere and go and, you know what I'm saying, commit some crime inside of your own neighborhood. They're going to be like, shh, don't snitch. Snitches get stitches. Go and do something to a pet. Go and do something to the pet and see what happens. Boy, you are going to jail. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. No bail. You getting arrested. You getting investigated. And they taking you to jail. People are going to jump in the water against the river currents and go and save those animals. They don't mess around with their dogs and their pets. They will save a bear that will maul your eyes out and say, what did you do to the bear? They're not messing around with you. They not messing around. Listen, if you see what the guy has said? He said, first I thought it was a person that was getting thrown off the bridge. Listen to him. Hold on, where he at? There he is. Watch this.
Followed by gasps of people.
We first thought it was a person jumping, and then we looked out and saw the two heads swimming. And
they ain't messing around with you. Listen, when it was the person jumping, it was like, man, first we thought it was a person. Yeah, go get Jack Kevorkian out of his grave, and we can assist him. Go ahead and let him figure it out for himself. They said, then we seen two little puppy heads swinging out. They going to get that. They going to get, this ain't China, baby. This is not China. They don't cook them. Man's best friend, woman's best friend. Yeah, okay. All right, play around with them dogs if you want to. You're going to be getting 20 to 5 to life. Kill a person. You'll be out in 7 years. You can negotiate that. You can negotiate that down to involuntary manslaughter. Take out an animal. They take your endorsements. They take your life. That you're going to be in there. They going to treat you like you was a pedo. Inside of jail, you go and do something against an animal. You did what? Something against an animal? You are an animal. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your quick hits. Somebody said, that's white folks. No, black folks act just like white. Black folks act just like white folks nowadays. Real talk. Real talk. Go ahead and do it. Do it, Clevis. I want to see how tough you are. I want to see how tough you are. They gonna take everything from you. And you're going to get audited by the IRS just to make sure that you up to date on your taxes. Sister in the building. Shout out to my girl, sister. So good morning, AD. Proverbs 16:31 says, gray hair is a crown of splendor. It is attained by a righteous life. Listen, I agree with you. But here's the thing. It's still going to be gray under the black. It's still gray under the black. I promise you it's not going to go nowhere. The wisdom, the ageism, all of that stuff is still going to be. But we got an image that we want to project going into 2025, sister. I love you, but we're going to go ahead and do that. AD, did you say a prayer? Listen, usually I say my prayer right before we get started with the show because then that's when we really get into it. You know what I'm saying? But I got you. I appreciate you for letting me know. Thank y'all for staying on top of me. Good morning. Can we get the y'all really want some prayer? I think y'all look forward to my prayers because it's a little different than what y'all used to getting at. See, let me tell you something, Jalen. Now that y'all see the way that Time Dog pray, because see, and let me tell you why I do it after Quick Hits. Because I need to get a sense of what's going on. I need to see what the people is feeling. I need to see how y'all acting. I need to see what the sentiment is. I want to go through Quick Hits. I want to see if we got some dusties for me to have to address. And so that's when I kind of fill out what people need to pray for. And then that's when we get it. That's why we do it most of the time after Quick Hits. But once y'all start to experience prayer like this is how y'all going to be praying inside of y'all house. Church ain't going to be the same no more. You're going to be like, what pastor saying again? Can we get Anton to lead the prayer, Lord? Can we get Anton to bless the Thanksgiving dinner? Prayer ain't going to be the same after y'all get used to what we do over here on the Millionaire Morning Show. Prayer ain't going to be the same after we do what we do on the Millionaire Morning Show. Shout out to my dog, Jalen Hawkins. I appreciate you. Steven says, Steven. Can we fix the P and the E in your name? Now, I've been enduring through this for a long time, Steven. Honest to goodness. And you know the chat is my co-host of the show. I've been looking at that P and that T and that E not properly aligned for a long time. Why is the P Han wrong on your name? That has been bothering me for a long time. I'm going to just tell you. You know what I'm saying? My OCD can't take it no more. So what I'm asking you to do is if your mama didn't name you that way, and if that's not what your birth certificate say, I'm going to need for you to fix that. I'm going to need for you to fix. Because I'm not going to keep saying Steven Slayer 1. I'm going to say Stepan. Is it just me? Am I the only person? Or am I just saying the quiet part out loud? Is it me? Or am I saying the quiet part out loud? We're going to do an improv show coming to a city near you. Real is Real says, have you thought about getting on podcast apps for the drivers, workers who can't watch but want to listen? Well, guess what? All you got to do is play YouTube through your Bluetooth and you can listen. Problem solved. Honestly, you want to know the honest reason why I haven't gotten on no podcast app? Because I don't know if it's no money in that. Is there some money in it? What they paying on the podcast app? Because I don't want to just be doing stuff just for the sake of doing it. I'm not just going to be doing stuff just to do it nowadays. If it ain't no money in it, if it ain't no way for me to go in and figure out how we can extract the dollars from it, why should I support the podcast app? That's all I'm asking. Tell me where the money is, and I'll tell you what a podcast is. If it's some money in it, tell me about it. If it's not, then you're just going to have to play it on YouTube through your Bluetooth. Green Monster says, trying to kill a couple of dogs while wearing We Are Family 2024 shirt is nasty work. Young Haiti says, good morning. AD, quick questions. Why do you say do not purchase any property with an HOA fees? Is it because the HOA fees can vary every year? That is exactly why I say don't do it. Now, if you want to live in a community where it has more structure to where your neighbors can't go out there and put a whole lot of, can't paint their house pink, then I understand what your sentiment is. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like the additional costs. HOA fees can get out of control. I've seen HOA fees be higher than the actual mortgages themselves. I've seen HOA fees be higher than the actual mortgages themselves. At the end of the day, it's just an additional cost. I would rather you be a lot more intentional with the neighborhood that you build in to make sure that the neighbors is not trash than to go over there and get HOA fee. It's just another maintenance cost. It's another tax on you. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. It's trash. Don't do it. Get out of there, young Haiti. Usually people ask me that question because they're looking at a property and they really want to buy it, but it got the HOA fees, so they rethinking it because they hear that voice in the back of their hand, Anton saying, no HOA fees. That's a standard. I'm not buying anything that got an HOA fee attached to it. Young Haiti says, good morning, AD, quick questions. Oh, you already said that one. Kevin Studus says, after 3 years of watching, I finally became a bag chaser. Next goal I'm going to hit is becoming debt-free in the next 3 months. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon, link is in the description. Mr. Joe says, people still hate Michael Vick to this day. To this day. David Williams says, the Airbnb of the No Attacker caught on fire. The Airbnb of the No Attacker caught on fire. Okay, I got to figure out what that says, but I'm going to get there. Thank you, David Williams. Lamar Gilmore says, quick update on the debt settlement, non-compete. DocuSign, it says 2 years, regardless of the geographical location. Would tech sales be a good transition to make 6 figures again in sales? And what would be my first step? Okay, so you're saying that it doesn't matter what the company is, it doesn't matter any criteria, that you cannot do tech sales for 2 years, regardless of the geographical location. All right, well, you know what that says to me? And one more thing, what is the penalty and the consequence that come along with it? But you know what that says to me? And I don't know any company that's watching you that closely unless you're some big executive. That says to me that I need to be a little bit quiet about where I'm about to work next. I'm not slowing down no money for nobody, honest to God. I'm not slowing down no money from nobody. I think that sales can be lucrative no matter where it is that you go. It doesn't have to be tech sales. You can get into the medical field, healthcare, all of that stuff, pharmaceutical sales. It's plenty of sales jobs that run it up. I like to do consulting. I think that consulting is absolutely awesome. Part of consulting is selling on a particular job, especially now that a lot of companies are laying off. It doesn't mean that they missing a demand for what it is that they want. So you just got to sell them on why it is that you providing this service, and not even you on why it is that you can bridge the gap between somebody that can provide the service and somebody not so much so. You might want to start your own consulting company. If you are great at sales, you just need the structure, and then you need to be able to get past the gatekeepers. That's all it is. So it doesn't matter what you sell. Doesn't matter what you sell. You want to worry about the commissions. Jason Bernardino says, gotta support. Work ethic is incredible. Oh, you know we don't miss. You know we don't miss, Jason. G Hood says, YouTube Premium allows for you to block your screen and still play what you want to listen to. Well, YouTube didn't give me any money to promote that, but you said it, so shout out to you. Lamar Gilmore says, no debt settlement sales. No debt settlement sales? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. No debt settlement sales. Anyways, thank y'all for continuing to support the platform. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I love sales. Do you know that people that are in sales make some of the greatest? For people that say that they don't like sales, what you're telling me is that you just need to work a regular job. Because honestly, all executive leadership is sales. That's it. Yeah, you put the title to it. You're selling to consumers. You're selling your workforce on why they need to be enthusiastic about the vision that you have for the company. You're selling to competitors why they need to stay out of your way. And you're selling to your vendors and everybody on why they need to do business with you when you're negotiating better prices and you're trying to get past gatekeepers. All executive leadership is sales. That's it. Most people don't. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Executive leadership, running your own. If you have your own business, okay, forget corporate America. If you're running your own business, if you are independent, what do I do every day when I get on the internet? I'm selling you on why you need to tune into the Millionaire Morning Show. A, because we're entertaining. B, because we put the medicine inside of the candy and you actually learn something. And C, it's actually conducive for your life, right? And so everything I do, whether it be the sponsorships, because I'm independent, when you sign with a major, right? Let's say you sign with a distribution company, or you are in music, or you sign with a big network like the CNNs and the Fox News, when they get those advertisers and those advertisements, there is a marketing and sales team that go out there and pitch those companies and help them to understand and show them the analytics and give them the data and tell them that their products is going to benefit as a result of it, and they need to have long-term relationships and all of this stuff. That is a marketing and sales team. When you are independent, for a lot of you people that want to start your own company, you need to understand that all you're saying to me is that you are going to put on multiple hats and do the same thing that you were doing in corporate America, but you've basically created a job for yourself. So now when you go out and get these sponsorships, and that's why a lot of people have teams, right? Or you go out here and you produce the show, or you are a content creator, it is much more difficult to compete. And this is why I don't mind giving out the information, because what you do with it is up to you, but it's very rare that people are actually going to take all of the steps to be successful. But all executive leadership is, all business ownership is, all you are doing is selling. That's it. You sell yourself to your audience. You sell yourself to people that you potentially want to do business with. You're bridging the gap. So when I hear people say that they don't want to do sales, I'm hearing worker bee. I don't care if you're an electrician. Unless you want to go out, like if you just want to go and work for an electrical company, then that's one thing. If you want to use an application, because all that application, the Turos, all of these applications, they're the middlemen. They're the middleman. They are the sales tool. They are the infrastructure that pitches to and helps consumers understand why you need to do business with them. If you were to go out and you were to start a delivery service company, it would be much more difficult for you to build the relationships and the infrastructure than if you was to just get on DoorDash. DoorDash is the gap between you and the consumer. So now basically you've contracted and allowed for a percentage or a portion of your profits to be given over to whoever it is, that sales venue, that sales avenue, to bridge the gap between you and the consumer. And that way, all you got to do, you ain't got to go up there because you know you ain't got no teeth in your mouth. You got that Altima with no bumper on it, and they don't know, right? They don't know. So you get on this application, you say, hey, man, I want some DoorDash, or I want this, or I want that. And so now you are the go-between, because it is very difficult for you to master the bridge between whatever it is that the consumer want and what you're going to deliver, right? If you ever want to level up in your life, if you ever want to level up, and forget the job. If you want to level up in your life, it's sales. Everything is sales. Your relationship is sales. Are we about to do a masterclass right now? Your relationship, your network is sales. Everything that you do in your natural life is sales. Everything that you do in your life is sales. 100%. If you learn how to talk to women, you will master the universe. If you learn how to talk to, and this is the gap that you need to bridge between the people that call you lame and the people that's out here in the streets, because it's a tale between two worlds. Let me just give you a little bit of game, and then we're going to go ahead and get into the show, okay? For the people that are super social, their problem is they don't know how to rein it in, so then they become Pookies and Ray Rays, and they can sell anything pretty much. They can sell drugs. They can sleep with as many women as they want. They can get them to get in their bed, right? They can sell. They can become whatever it is that they're doing. They know how to communicate effectively with people. They just don't know how to bridge the gap. Now, for the tech nerds and all of these people want to be hermits. They want to stay out the way, and they don't want to actually do any personal development. They've developed their brain, right, to do great things. This person has developed their social skills, but they haven't developed any tangible skill that translate and haven't become an expert in anything. So it's very difficult for them to do something that allows for them to have structure in their life and then be able to level up in other parts of life. So then they call these people lame. Now, the lames are saying, well, listen, you going to jail because you don't really got the character and you haven't had any real personal development when it comes to your skill set. But they've developed their skill set, but they haven't developed their personal within them. Communication, it's an art, it's a language, right? So they're engineers. They're all of these people that do these great jobs, but they're basically to their self, and they'll never get past a certain point. This person will never get past a certain point. This person will never get past a certain point because it's impossible. It's impossible for you to convince them to step outside of their comfort zone. When I tell y'all, hey man, you need to go into the office, you need to go downtown, you need to do this, you need to do that. What I'm basically telling you is to get out of your comfort zone so that you can have life skills, and life will teach you how to deal with people and communicate more effectively. You'll learn how to dress. You'll learn how to, you'll have some personal development skills. You'll learn how to communicate more effectively, right? That person is super social over here. This person is super smart over here. But the person that really takes over the world is the one that can bridge the gap, right? They're the ones that can inspire. They're the ones that have the skill set. That's why you then see the engineers that develop those social skills and those social characteristics ultimately become the CEOs. When you look at the CEOs of the world, they're either salespeople or they're engineers, and they've learned how to master other skills that then allow for them to network effectively and then to communicate to whoever it is that they got to communicate to so that they can really get the real bag. The real bag is bridging the two. If you learn how to do that, you will take over the world. Then the only thing that you really got to pray for is character to be able to handle it. You learn how to communicate with women. You learn how to talk to people. You learn how to be personable. You know how to speak to people. You get out of your comfort zone on a regular basis, and you've been able to master a skill set that allows for you to really be able to have something to fall back on or use that as a jump off point to get into better conversations. You're going to take over the world. There is nothing that anybody can stop you. You understand marketing. You understand communication. You also have that masterful skill set. The women, think about it. Look at it like this. Let's frame it like this, right? Women want Tupac in a suit. Women want Tupac in a suit. They want the person that is charismatic, personable, can talk to people, get around. I get around. Round and round, round we go. They want Tupac in a suit. Think about it. Let's pull it back to music, right? There are the consequences of the world, right? There are for those of y'all that may not know, Consequence is a rapper that Ghost wrote for Kanye West and all of them. It's the Consequences, right? It's the Sahas. It's to an extent the Royce the 5'9s. Those people aren't really social. They are on social media, but they're not really social. Those are the ghostwriters. Those are the masterminds. Those are the ones that can put pen to paper and they'll change your life. Woo! But have you ever noticed that it's almost impossible for a lot of these guys to go mainstream and sell a record themselves? They can give something to somebody else. The engineer can take it and then give it to that guy. That guy is the most marketable, right? The Travis Scotts. You know, he'll hit you with a coffee bean that was written by Sci-Hi. They're bridging the two. The producers, the A&Rs, those are the DoorDashes, the eBays, the Turos. That is the platform that brings the two together. You understand what I'm saying? They want Tupac in a suit. Women want the guy that is the good guy, that will take care of their children, that is the high earner and has a great maximum potential. But then when they're younger, often at times they wind up getting with the guy that's really no good for them, but is super charismatic. And that's why they say, hey, when you're done with the Pookie, then you want to come over to this guy that can save you. She don't even really want that guy. She want that guy, but she want that guy to become that guy over there. But she settles for that guy because that guy understands that his time is coming as soon as she get done with that guy over there. Because she don't really got no future with that guy over there because that guy is going to be trash, but I'm going to still be okay over here. They want to meld the two, but it's the same thing that's applicable in life. Everything is the same across the board. You learn how to master this thing, you'll be great in that thing. The same way that you are socially with women is usually a translation of how you are going to be. And I'm not just talking about whether or not you can get them. I'm talking about whether or not you can keep them. I'm talking about whether or not you still have issues with them after the relationship is over. Are they better as a result of being with you? That's going to translate into how it is that you manage your company, how you manage your people, whether or not people resonate with you, if you can inspire your team, hiring practices, so on and so forth. So all I'm telling you is that you are in the game whether you like it or not. You are in the game. You just refuse to put up any shots. You don't want to participate. You think that just because you're sitting on the bench that you're not in the game. You in the game, coach. Coach didn't already put you in the game. That's life. The minute that you was born, you was in the game. Now, you can choose not to run the race, but that's up to you. I'm trying to tell you, don't run away from the thing that is going to make you greater. Don't run away from the thing that is going to make you greater. See, Brian don't catch it. There's some people in here that's not going to catch it. There's some people in here that is so rigid in their thinking, they're not going to catch the wave. They don't get it. They don't get it. They never go, well, why would I want any leftovers? Are you looking at the correlation between what I'm saying and the example that I'm using in order to really illustrate why you need to participate in life? It's some people that's not going to catch it. And it's not for everybody, but the person that can put it together, the person that see what the correlation is, you seeing the metaphor and you're able to put it together and you're able to apply it to your life, you're the ones that's going to take off. E-Love says you can win by not participating. Cool. Don't participate then. You got it. Nobody's forcing you. It's some people that's not going to get it. They never have. They never will. More for you. More for you. It's not for everybody. All right? Lord, give us the insight that we need in order to be successful. Bless us to get out of our own way. Bless us to get out of our own way. This is why we say your will, not our will. The reason that we say that is because we pray and we petition you so that you will know what our thoughts are. We want to build this relationship with you, but we also know that you know what's best for us. And as we navigate through this journey and call life, we would love for you to take over. And the only way that we can do that is to pray for humility, character, and wisdom. Humility, character, and wisdom. Because we know what we think we want, but we don't always know what's best. So I'm going to tell you what it is that I want, but I would love for you to intercede because I know you know the sentiment of my heart and to give me what I need. And then maybe the thing that I want will at some point become best for me because I'll be prepared for it. Because you said that you will not give me anything that will hurt me as long as I remain a child of God and I am your child. You call us friends and you hold us down. I trust you. I love you. I am putting everything in your hands. All I ask you to do is, regardless of what I go through, help me and give me the understanding to know that I'm doing the right thing 100% of the time. I ask everything in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to get it popping? Y'all ready to get started with the show? I know. We got the greatest show on earth. Ain't nobody doing what we doing. Ain't nobody giving the type of gems that we giving. Ain't nobody rocking out the way that we rocking out. If you're not a part of the Patreon, if you're not a part of the Bag Chasers, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. It ain't nobody. I don't care who they are. Nobody does what we do here on the Millionaire Morning Show. This is the greatest show on earth. If you're not inspired, if you don't love what we do by the time that you leave here today, then something is wrong with you. It certainly ain't nothing wrong with me. Let's get to it. Ain't nothing left to do it but to do it. Did I say that right? Lamar Gilmore says, my apologies. Non-compete is for the debt settlement. I got you. Let me give a shout out to my dog, Rob. I want to personally say thank you for pushing us to be better people. My 2024 goal was to eliminate all of my negative equity debt, credit cards, student loans, etc. And as of December 2024, I paid off $50,000 in debt. Now I'm debt free all of 2025. All thanks to your advice. God bless you. That's why I feel comfortable taking your money, Rod. Because if I can add value into your life, then I'm feeling comfortable. Shout out to Rod. Shout out to the Bag Chasers. Shout out to everybody that got a different perspective and said, I'm going to take this information and I'm going to use it for my benefit. Rod, God bless you. More for Rod. More for Rod. My dog, Mr. Lot, says the nerd that moved down to... I said, what you doing out there with all of them people from Gran Torino? What you doing out there in them suburbs hiding out from the people? Get on down here, Mr. Lot. Let's go. Shout out to my dog, Mr. Lot. Said Johnson says, Happy New Year, AD. Just joined the Bag Chasers today. Your morning shows always bring great value and entertainment. So I look forward to the mentorship, and I'll get from the Patreon. Make sure we live streaming today, y'all. Cypho says, facts, I was a great landscaper, but I couldn't sell jobs. I had to study marketing that elevated my business. Wealth Building Journey says, balance, social popularity, balance with financial responsibility and acumen. Tupac for a proverbial Pookie in a business suit. Master both domains. Facts. Nasheed Waters says, thanks for the right on time message about sales. Also now a part of the Bag Chasers. Let's go. Hey man, shout out to all of the new chasers. Make sure y'all welcome all of the new chasers. Christina. What's up, Stina? What's up, Stina? With that wholesome name. Morning, Anton Bag Chasers. While leading teams in DC, EQ can be non-existent. No engagement, mastering EQ is the way to master your career and life. Listen to Christina Holloman. If you don't listen to nobody, you better listen to Chris. Listen to Chris. Shout out to my baby girl, Chris. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get started with the show. We got to start off with the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck. So it was a Cybertruck that basically exploded over in Las Vegas. It's too much happening. It's too much happening right now. What up, Jerry? What up, Jerry? What up, Carl? Why is Carl saying I'm muted? I know for a fact I'm not muted. It is too much happening in the world right now. Let me give y'all an update on what's going on over in Las Vegas yesterday.
Let's talk about Las Vegas because this has been a sort of interesting development. You know,
John, you're wrong, and I'm going to prove you wrong shortly. All right.
The images of the Cybertruck parked outside the Las Vegas Trump property went viral. You know, sort of, I think people thought it was an accident and then no one was hurt. And so there was a sort of bizarre symbolism in that it was a Cybertruck. It was out Trump. As it's developed, it seems that this is being taken far more seriously. What have we learned about what authorities know and how they're investigating this?
Right, Chris. So according to the reporting of myself, my colleague.
Some people saying, Anton, it was a nightclub shooting in Queens. That just tells me that you are late to the show because I already covered it in Quick Hits. I'm going to need y'all to be on time. Maybe I won't make the show too much earlier. Y'all got to be on time. You got to be on time. I covered that. All right, let's get to it.
Colleagues Andrew Blankstein and Kelly O'Donnell. Right now, 3 senior U.S. law enforcement officials say that this explosion of a Tesla Cybertruck, kind of in the portico there where you saw that smoke rising from in front of Trump's property in Las Vegas, is being investigated, at least initially, as a potential act of terrorism, and that it was, quote, intentional. And there was a person who was found deceased. That is the driver of that vehicle. There were 7 others that were injured as a result. And so they don't yet have a specific motive, but some things they've found in the investigation leads them to believe that this could have been some sort of a terrorist attack, or at least that they should investigate it as such. Interestingly, Chris, I know everybody's going to immediately say, okay, we have something.
Hey, the likes is a little low. I need y'all to hit the like for the algorithm. If this is your first time here, that is also your reasonable service. So I require that from everybody, no matter who you are, no matter where you are. If you're a hate watcher, you love me, I require a like for the algorithm. Please do so. If you are here for more than one time, it is a requirement for you to subscribe so that you can know and get your notifications when I go live. All right, let's get it, y'all.
That happens in New Orleans. We have something that happens in Las Vegas. The car that was used in Las Vegas, the Cybertruck, was actually rented from the same type of company. It's kind of like an Airbnb for cars as the car that was rented and used in New Orleans. So the driver of the vehicle, who's now deceased at the Trump International there in Las Vegas, used the same car company. But we are told from multiple senior law enforcement officials that there is no believed connection at this hour between what happened in Las Vegas and what happened in New Orleans. We want to make that perfectly clear. Again, no known connection between what happened in New Orleans and in Las Vegas. But obviously, the president-elect, soon to take office, it's his property in Vegas. There's been an explosion there. It involved a Cybertruck. So what message is somebody trying to send with that? That's
I was able to tie the two together fairly quickly, and we're going to get to that part of the show. But if you notice, and I'm wondering why, if you look at all of these news outlets, what they're saying is, and they're renting these trucks off of a popular app that's similar to Airbnb, but it's for cars. Now, maybe I'm off, and maybe it's another app, but I thought that Turo was the most popular self-rental app, and people are about to start pulling their cars off Turo. Really, a lot of people can't afford to pull their cars off Turo because a lot of people bought Turo, or they bought their cars for Turo. I've heard so many nightmare stories, and I'm not saying that it's not a good application. I've heard so many nightmare stories of people getting their cars dogged out by renting them out to people on these applications. I've heard so many stories. And both the one in New Orleans, he rented a Ford Lightning, which is an electric vehicle that weighs more than a traditional vehicle. And then this one over in Vegas, they rented an electric vehicle, a Tesla Cybertruck, that weighs more than a normal pickup truck. Both of them pickup trucks, both of them electric. Both of them were rented from a popular application that's similar to Airbnb, except for people that rent their trucks on these platforms. Imagine you renting your truck. Imagine you out and about. Imagine you join these platforms and you say, you know what? I want to make a little bit of extra money at the time that I'm not driving my car or truck. And I am going to rent it out on this app and let people run the miles up and dog it out and spin the tires and do burnouts. One of the reasons I won't get into the rental car business is because people are evil. People are evil. They don't care anything about your property. They will get in and drive it like it's stolen. Even when I get in a rental car when I go out of town, I take care of it. Why would I do anything different? Like, I'm just going to drive it regular. If I wouldn't do it to my own stuff, I'm not going to do it to your stuff. If I'm not going to do it to my own stuff, I'm not going to do it to your stuff. That's just my rule of thumb.
Something that has authorities in Las Vegas, federal, state, and local, quite concerned, quite interested in it. You're looking at the after.
That's from the outside. That's from the outside. Now, we're going to get to Elon Musk's reaction to it.
Math of it there on screen. In some other video was trying to verify, it appears that there's kind of an explosion, not a Oklahoma City style car bomb type, but definitely the rear of the Cybertruck pops out. There's a lot of smoke and kind of an explosive type of fireball type thing that occurs initially, and you're looking at the aftermath there on screen.
So we're going to get to that shortly. Let me look at it from a different lens outside of that so that y'all can get the full view of it. This is what it looked like after it burned up. Now, again, I'm going to get to that in the next segment of the show, but this is the best promotional tool that you can have as an automaker. For you to have all of those explosions and thought that you was going to leverage this car as a bomb to blow up the front of the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas, and the whole thing was contained, and the truck didn't actually explode itself, but it maintained and contained it within that, it just made you look stupid, and it promoted Elon Musk even more. But let's continue.
Well, Giovanni, it was just after 8:40 this morning when that Tesla Cybertruck exploded in front of the Trump Hotel near Las Vegas Boulevard. Tonight, authorities telling us they know what caused that explosion to happen, but are still working to piece together a motive. Tonight, one person is dead and 7 others injured after a 2024 Cybertruck exploded in front of the Trump Hotel on Las Vegas Boulevard. A surveillance camera on property capturing the moment the truck blew up, leaving behind a plume of smoke and debris near the hotel's entrance.
We're looking directly into Trump Tower from our room, and then I saw there was a second explosion. So I heard one and then saw the other one actually happen, and it was like fireworks were shooting off.
Investigators confirmed a body was found inside the Cybertruck. Authorities are still working to identify them.
So you took yourself out. In an effort to send a message, you took yourself out. What a dummy.
We do know who rented the truck. We are looking at that individual, but I am not prepared to release the name of any of the individuals that we are looking at.
Following that, our second objective is to determine whether this was an act of terrorism or not.
Also found in the explosion's aftermath,
It still got air in the
fireworks
tires. It literally still got air in the tires.
gas canisters in the truck's bed, raising even more concerns about the cause. Las Vegas Sheriff
They
Kevin
found
McMahill
everything
said
that
the
was flammable
Cybertruck
that they could
structure
and just
may
threw it
have
in there.
limited the damage to the hotel, with most of the blast directed upwards. The Cybertruck, rented through the car-sharing service Turo, arrived in Las Vegas.
I knew it was Turo. This is the first time that I've seen any major media outlet actually acknowledge that it was rented on Turo. Why do they keep saying it was rented on a popular app? I know the people at Turo is in shambles right now. I know the people in Turo are, whoever it is that's on the marketing team, whoever the CEO of Turo is, they was already catching hell because people having high insurance rates or people dogging out vehicles and trying to get stuff taken care of through the insurance and all of that stuff. They was already catching hell. I know the people on Turo is livid. They are absolutely livid right now. Like, man, what the heck is going on? Because now you know what's going to happen. The woke mob is going to say, oh my God, see, we're against capitalism. See how they're able to easily rent the vehicle. And then they're going to require people that have apps like Turo or Turo itself. They're going to require them to do a little bit more digging. Make sure you verify this. Make sure you verify that. Now they got to change their terms and policies. Hey, listen, you can't rent vehicles on Turo from unsuspecting users if you're going to be doing a terrorist attack. Now they got to do a new user. If you are a user of Turo, you are going to be getting a lot of updates, a lot of app updates, a lot of notifications. It's going to make you jump through even more hoops because you now got bad actors that's able to rent it out and do what they want to do.
It's just hours before the explosion. Surveillance footage shows the truck passing by the hotel around 7:30 a.m. before circling back and stopping just moments before the blast.
Car blew up. Like I stepped back for a little bit. I'm like, oh, it's just a lot of fireworks. Maybe I'll be able to get out of there. And then there was enough fireworks that the car blew up, and it was just flaming and couple people crying.
Eric Trump, executive vice president of the Trump Organization, expressed gratitude to first responders and reassured the public of the hotel's commitment to safety. Meantime, Sheriff McMahill stressed there's no ongoing threat to the public, but emphasized authorities are keeping a close eye on what happened, especially in light of the violent attack in New Orleans.
So, yeah, man, I think that it's all tied. But again, we're going to get to that later on in the show on another segment. And it's unfortunate that it's a lot of bad actors that's creating chaos for everybody else. But let me hold that. I'm going to reserve that thought. We'll get into that in the next segment of the show. Let me read a few of these super chats, and then we're going to continue on with the show. Brandon Nicholson says, want to join the Patreon. I made $100,000 at Ford last year trying to get more. All right. Well, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. We're doing a live stream today. It's not just about making money. I want y'all to understand how to keep money. And that's a part of the reason why I'm doing this live stream this afternoon. I want to teach you how to preserve your wealth and leverage it. But the first thing that we have to do, there's a couple steps before we get to the preservation of wealth. It's a couple steps before. So I got to walk y'all through it and help y'all to understand how to see things differently. Shout out to Brandon. What you mean you want to join it? What you waiting on? I want to join the Bag Chasers, but I work a 9 to 5. What does that mean, Pam? I don't really understand what's limiting you. Everything that we do inside of the Patreon is up for restreaming. Beast LFC says, this show is like showing up to church. with you preaching valuable life and financial wisdom consistently. Blessing. Shout out to my Canadian friends. Abe the Hunter says it's Crash Out 2025. Yo, this we are getting started this year on a wrong foot out here in society. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Elon Musk has something to say about the Cybertruck explosion in front of the Trump Hotel, and check it out.
We're also monitoring these developments out of Las Vegas. US authorities launching a terror investigation after Tesla Cybertruck exploded outside a hotel owned there in the Strip by incoming President Donald Trump. One person has died and 7 people were injured in the blast. Surveillance footage that is circulated on social media, it was shown during that police press conference as well, shows that very moment there that the Tesla...
It looks like, when you look at that initially, when you look at the explosion initially...
It was shown during that...
It looks like it's just like devastating. Oh my God, the whole hotel must be on fire. It looks devastating. The truck itself, because it's bulletproof and because of the way that it's built, it contained the blast to where it didn't go outward, it went up. And then the rest of it was just like little fireworks and stuff going on because people put as much as they can. They put as many as explosives as they can to help blow it up even more or make it even worse than it was. But in reality, the truck remained intact. That's why you're still seeing the tires on it. The tires were still inflated. The outside shell, because the way that they do the exoskeleton in order to bring it down. And I was studying this. It's pretty funny because I was studying a new way that Tesla is manufacturing their vehicles, and they're manufacturing, not putting it together part by part as far as how it is that they're framing it, but they having one big exoskeleton, which then allowed for the truck to remain intact. And so when the explosion went off, it contained it, and it didn't even blow up the windows. Nothing, none of the windows, none of the doors, none of the glass was affected. It just went up. It just went up in smoke. And so the only person that was affected was the person that was inside of the vehicle that was saying, oh, we're going to do this terrorist attack and we want to hurt people. Nothing was affected. The hotel probably going to be right back open the next day. They're going to clean off the smoke. They're going to remove you out of the vehicle, and then they're going to keep it moving.
Police press conference as well shows that very moment there that the Tesla Cybertruck exploded at 8:39 a.m. local time. Smoke poured out of the electric vehicle as it pulled up. It was there for about...
All of the windows and the doors and stuff is intact. They still got the fire alarm going on. The people that was in the front of the building, the concierge and the desk agents, they was like, hey, what's going on out there?
10 to 15 seconds, police said, before the explosion outside the front doors there at the Trump International Hotel. A line of people were exiting the building. First responders were at the scene as well. The person inside the truck died during the explosion. Police yet to confirm the identity of that individual. More security are on standby at the moment for any potential acts of copycats or any sort of other terror incident that might take place.
I have authorized what we call an ABX roster to continue for the next 2 days, which is my New Year's Eve staffing plan of over 1,000 officers, both in our community neighborhoods as well as on the Strip and downtown, in partnership with all of the other law enforcement agencies, City of Las Vegas Marshals, North Las Vegas, Henderson, just to ensure that even if we had a copycat or somebody else wanted to go up and conduct an attack.
Given the timing of these two events, authorities are investing any potential link between what's happened in Las Vegas and what happened there in New Orleans. There was questions at the press conference to law enforcement about the fact...
Somebody said the truck is not bulletproof. The truck is bulletproof. The windows are not bulletproof. The truck itself is bulletproof. Go on YouTube. That's all I do is look at vehicle information and study it, because that's one of my passion projects. Go on YouTube and look at if the production version of the Tesla truck is bulletproof. There's plenty of people that have done tests on it. The frame, the doors, everything is bulletproof. You are wrong. You need to go and do some research before you type, sir.
That these two vehicles were both rented, both from the same company, but at this stage, the update was that seemed to be just a mere coincidence. Tesla founder Elon Musk, as we know, very close to incoming President Donald Trump, he posted on social media, his platform X today, saying that it appears likely to be an act of terrorism. He says both this Cybertruck and the F-150 suicide bomb in New Orleans were rented from Turo. That's that rental car company I mentioned, and he speculates perhaps that they are linked in some way. Mr. Musk has also written that the evil knuckleheads picked the wrong vehicle for a terrorist attack. Cybertruck actually contained the explosion and directed the blast upwards. Not even the glass doors of the lobby were broken.
If people didn't like Elon Musk before, they really gonna be pissed at him now. If people didn't like Elon Musk before, they're really going to be mad now because they was trying to send a message and all they did was make him look better. They made a real life marketing tool and a commercial for the Cybertruck. They basically created a marketing opportunity for Elon Musk to get even richer. What dummies? What dummies? If you don't know that this was the dumbest, these are the dumbest terrorists that I ever heard in my entire life. What dummies? Did y'all know that Tesla actually got rid of its marketing department? That it actually got rid of its PR department because they said that it was a waste of money? And then they basically just used their CEO, which is one of the values that he brings into the company and why it's so great, an explosion of growth is because he's able to use his platform to continue to promote it. He understands marketing. He understands advertisement. All of these other countries, I know Ford, Toyota, GM, Silverado, Sierra, Denali's, Nissan, the Titan. I know all of them is just punching in the air right now. God dog it. They are punching in the air right now because the car was still intact. The outside of it, let me pull it up. Let me show you what it looked like. Let me put it on the screen. It's still got air inside of the tires. It's still fully inflated. The outside and the frame of the truck still looks intact. The rear door is still in there. The only thing that's really broken is the person that was in it. If this is not one of the greatest marketing opportunities of all time, the entire thing is still intact and not even the glass doors in front of the building was affected. So you basically just made him even more visible. This is the best marketing commercial. This is better than a Super Bowl because everybody's got eyes on it. Everybody was saying, oh man, it must have been. Everybody got eyes on it. You can't pay for this type of publicity. And it's natural. Stupid. So dumb.
And that's the very point that Las Vegas authorities had been making. The fact that this was a Cybertruck prevented the explosives actually doing further damage into the interior of the hotel. Vegas authorities confirming that both Mr. Musk and Donald Trump have aided the investigation so far.
I have to thank Elon Musk specifically. He gave us quite a bit of additional information in regards to how the vehicle was locked after it exploded due to the force of the nature of the force from the explosion, as well as being able to capture all of the video from the Tesla charging stations across the country, and he sent that directly to us, so I appreciate his help.
Oh, talk about American. That is one of the great. I told y'all we had the real life Iron Man. He was born in South Africa, but he's American. I told y'all we had real life Iron. This is the equivalent of when Iron Man was standing in front of the legislators and he was talking about world peace because they wanted his technology. This is the same scene.
Attention is also now turning to security at other major events that are coming up in the United States. We are just 2 weeks or so away from Donald Trump's inauguration in Washington, D.C. There also, New Orleans will be playing host to the Super Bowl in early February.
I'm not as concerned for the actual inauguration. That's a national security event. Everything that we have possibly that can be rolled out, and those people think outside the box, will be there. What I'm concerned about are the events like we saw last night. So during the inauguration, they have all these inauguration balls. Those are going to be targets. We have different bowl games coming up, the Super Bowl coming up. The Super Bowl is not just one game. It's a week of all these different things going on, and to an extent where an entire city is consumed.
Yeah, for me personally, I'm going to be honest with you. It's kind of mixed because I said to myself, and I was telling Rita this yesterday, I was telling her, I said, my goal, honestly, is just to buckle down and to make as much money as possible. I mean, when it comes to taking care of business and being on top of things, my goal was to buckle down and make as much money as possible. But now I'm so inspired as an American by this foiled attempt in front of the Trump Hotel that I decided that I want to go back outside now. Yep, I'm going back outside. Can't wait to hit the streets. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read a few of these super chats, and then we're going to continue on with the show. Christopher Chapman says, AD, how do I join? I don't have Patreon. What do I do? So the link is pinned to the top of the chat, and it's in the description. Just follow the directions. Click the link that's in the description or pinned to the top of the chat, and you own it. That's who the bag chasers are. We are the chasers. Best Man Podcast. Shout out to the Best Man Podcast. Says, back with the bag chasers and tuning into the live stream today. Handled some family stuff and missed coaching for December, but I've prepared to take advantage of the next window. We winning in 2025. Shout out to the Best Man Podcast. I appreciate you. Foxhole 99 says, talk about the Las Vegas guy being a 20-year vet in the Army Special Forces and is connected to New Orleans guy. And it's connecting to the New Orleans guy. Y'all got some redundancy going on in y'all speech, but I get what you're saying. We're going to get to that next. Elon Musk equal Tony Stark. Larry Summers says, while at Tesla, we made a video testing how bulletproof Ford and Chevy trucks are compared to the Cybertruck. They never released the commercial. Shout out to Larry Summers. And then my girl Pam Pam, shout out to Pam Pam, said, I'm back. I'm in the bag chasers. Shout out to all of the new chasers. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. If you're not, we running it up this afternoon. The Life While Building a High-End Brand says, the life, I was always convinced. I'm even more convinced. Great marketing. I'm buying and investing in one safest truck ever. Forever. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. All right, so let's pivot for a second, y'all. JC, I got you. Let's talk about this guy, right? Because usually what happens is it takes a little bit longer for us to learn as much as we possibly can about the culprits. Yeah, about the culprits. And when I say culprits, I'm talking about the ones that have been radicalized, the one that said that I don't want to just take my life, I want to take the people of the lives that's out around with me. I'm going to go ahead and plan New Orleans 2024 going into 2025, and I'm going to rent this car from Turo, and I'm going to ruin the app, and I'm also going to ruin the people's trucks that I'm renting it from, and I'm going to ruin the lives of the people that surround me. Now, the person in Las Vegas, they wasn't so fortunate. They didn't get to do the thing that they thought that they was going to do. But these people are being radicalized. And I think that it's a couple lessons to take from this. But before we get into the lessons, I actually want to show you who this guy was and why you have to be careful. You got to look at your neighbor. Turn to your left. How they say in church? Turn to your left. Look at your neighbor, turn to your left. Look at your neighbor, turn to your right. Say one of us ain't going to make it. Amen. One of us ain't going to make it. You know how they start doing statistics? Let me tell you what statistics in church look like. They say, yeah, man, because they saying 1 out of every 3 people got a venereal disease. That means you turn to your neighbor to your left, turn to your neighbor to the right, Let them know one of us ain't gonna make it. You'd be like, man, that's a heck of a way to teach statistics, huh? That's a heck of a way to start looking at percentages. Turn to your neighbor to your left. Turn to your neighbor to your right. Say, one of us got herpes. Turn to your neighbor to your left. Turn to your neighbor to your right. One of us is a single baby mama. Amen. Amen. Pass the collection plate, pastor. Anyways, the point that I'm making is that everybody has on a mask. Everybody is projecting confidence. Everybody is acting like they got it. Everybody on Instagram shaking it up, making it rain, doing what they do on a regular basis. For example, this is the man that wound up crashing a car inside of New Orleans and taking out over 15 people, injuring over 35. Your neighborhood real estate agent.
Good evening. I'm Shamsuddin Jabbar, property manager with Blue Meadow Property.
Let me do this. I'm going to come back to this one because I actually want to download this video. For whatever reason, this is edited to where it's only coming out of one ear, so I'm going to come back to that. But let's go into the ties. I'm going to come back to that video. Let's go into the ties because they're trying to figure out whether or not there's any correlation between what happened in New Orleans and Vegas. Check it out.
Breaking this morning, federal officials are calling it a deliberate act of terror as the FBI is conducting searches across multiple states. 15 people are dead, many more injured after a man plowed his truck through crowded New Orleans streets just after the new year. 3 major questions this morning. Were there any accomplices? Was this attack tied to the Cybertruck explosion outside a Trump hotel in Las Vegas? There are notable similarities. Was this attack actually directed by ISIS or just inspired by the terror group? Just a short time ago, we learned the New Orleans attacker pleaded guilty to DUI charges in 2015, and police shared new details about a series of videos he allegedly recorded, one of which includes a pledge to ISIS. This morning, we're also learning more about the victims as witnesses now describe what they saw.
We heard the gunshots and everyone started running, and then they ended up locking us in the building and they shut all the doors, told us to get down. And when we came outside, that's when we saw the truck that was crashed right outside where we were at. And we saw the first responders trying to save a young man. And they were working on him for so long, and we were just hoping and praying he was going to survive. But there was no life in him at all.
Now to the Tesla Cybertruck explosion in Las Vegas, just outside the doors of a Trump International hotel there. Surveillance video showing the powerful blast. Authorities are still trying to figure out if that was an act of terror or, as John mentioned, somehow linked to the attack in New Orleans. CNN's Veronica Miracle has more on that story.
Our John Miller is telling us he has spoken to multiple law enforcement officials who say that the driver of the Cybertruck has a military background. Now, law enforcement officials say they know the name of this driver who died in the explosion, but they are not going to be releasing the identity of that driver until they notify the next of kin. We understand that this driver was in Las Vegas for about an hour driving around the Strip before pulling up to Trump Tower before that explosion happened. And authorities say the driver rented the Cybertruck in Colorado via the Turo app before driving down to Las Vegas. Video released by law enforcement shows explosives that were contained inside the truck, which included fireworks, gas tanks, and camping fuel, and all of that was connected to a detonation system that was controlled by the driver. And the sheriff pointed out, which is really incredible, how the Cybertruck actually contained the explosion. The way that it was built forced the explosion to go upwards instead of outwards, which meant that the glass from Trump Tower was not broken, and 7 people nearby were injured, but with minor injuries. All of them are okay. They've all been released from the hospital. The driver did die, and Las Vegas police believe that this was an isolated incident. They are not yet willing to say if this was, in fact, connected to what happened in New Orleans, but it is quite unusual that both the drivers in these incidents rented their cars from Turo. Turo. And we do have a statement from Turo, and they said they're cooperating with these investigations, but they also said that neither of the drivers had criminal backgrounds, which would have flagged them as security threats.
Investigators are searching for any possible links between the two New Year's Day attacks, the one in New Orleans and the one in Las Vegas.
Do I think it's a coincidence? I don't know, but what I can tell you is we're absolutely investigating any connectivity to what happened in New Orleans, as well as other attacks that have been occurring around the world. We're not ruling anything out yet.
All right, with us now, CNN senior law enforcement analyst, former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe. So the similarities are these. Both were using electric vehicles rented from this ride-share / user-to-user rental
Why
outfit,
is he making it so sensationalized?
Military backgrounds, both drivers, explosives on both trucks, Andy. Possible it's just a coincidence? What do you see there?
Still possible that that's just a coincidence.
It's not a
But honestly,
coincidence.
John, you have attacks occurring, vehicle-borne attacks occurring on the same day in different cities. That alone gets you a very intensive investigation to determine whether or not there's any connectivity between those two actors. And that could be anything from, interacting and planning and preparing together to execute those attacks, or it could be something as simple as a infrequent contact over social media that
Cap, listen, I'm telling you that none of this stuff is the only way that it's not. Come on, stop it, bro. I'm not even gonna sit here and play no games. It's 100% coordinated. Shout out to my dog Classy Beats. It's 100% coordinated. It is not a coincidence. This is not something that just came out of the blue. They didn't wake up and then both go on Turo in order to rent this out. Why do they gotta act like we retarded? Why they gotta act like we slow? Why they gotta act like we on a spectrum? Why they gotta act like we operating with a learning disability? We're not. We not stupid. Together, I immediately knew what was happening. Oh, and I said it. I said it immediately. Wait, yesterday and when this first dropped, when I dropped the video on the initial attack that was happening in New Orleans, I said that's a Ford Lightning. Oh, okay, I could see it because I could tell by the lights and the way that it's set up. I said, oh, that's a Ford Lightning. Immediately, I was able to see it. I seen the bullet holes in the back of the truck. That's a Ford Lightning. As soon as I heard them say that they rented it from an app that is similar to Airbnb, but for car users, they was on Turo. They were on Turo. Got it. Then I looked at what was happening in New Orleans. I said, oh, wait a minute. New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, one in front of the Trump Hotel, another one rented it from an app that's similar to Airbnb, another Turo. Then we got to wait. Oh, wait, yeah, it is. It was rented from Turo. They contacted them and Turo said that this. Man, listen, of course it was. Of course it was. It was coordinated. It was one of them was dumber than the other. One of them was stupid. The other one was dumb, but he was able to pull it off a little bit more effectively than the other one. And that's how it kind of played out, and that's how it goes. And so it's not a coincidence. It's not something that's unrelated and just so happened to be happenstance, and they both just so happen to get on the app at the same time. No, dog, that's not what happened. This is what's happening. It is a coordinated attack. And for the time being, I think that people need to be very, very careful and vigilant about where they go, being situationally aware and paying attention to people that's doing unseemly things. Real talk.
just brought them together as like-minded people. If there is any connection between the two of them, I am confident that our law enforcement and intelligence folks will uncover that, but they've got to look hard for it.
We heard from the FBI special agent, supervisory special agent in New Orleans, who said, "We do not believe Jabbar," that's the New Orleans killer, "acted alone." That's a direct, very direct comment there, Andy. What do you think gives them so much?
Y'all got to refresh. Just refresh your YouTube browser. That's not happening on my side. That's happening on the side of YouTube. This don't have nothing to do with me. This has everything to do with YouTube. Just refresh. It ain't got nothing to do with me. On my side is regular. On YouTube side, this is something that's happening. So just refresh and keep going.
Certainty at this point.
Yeah, it's really a bold thing to say, I think, this early in the investigation. There was a lot of talk yesterday about 4 other individuals who were captured on video surveillance, we believe somewhere near the site of one of these other IEDs that was recovered yesterday. That's been ruled out. So we still don't know if the FBI is quite as confident now that those 4 people have been ruled out about the presence of others. Nevertheless, there are other indicators here that could be forcing the investigators to broaden their search. And that is simply the fact that if these other suspected IEDs that were placed around the French Quarter are in fact connected to the driver of the truck, then there's a logistical challenge here. They're trying to determine, would it be possible for him to have created and placed those devices and then gotten in the truck and driven to his destined attack? So
let me show you the actual guy. I was able to get it together. This is the guy right here.
Good evening. I'm Shamsuddin.
I had to go in and do some modification of the sound. I had to pull the original video from its source because for whatever reason, whoever the editors are that's for on a lot of these sites, apparently they don't know how to have the sound coming out of both speakers. I don't like that. I pulled the quality. I redid it myself in my own editing software. I re-uploaded it. And so I can present it to you guys. And this is what it coming from both speakers now, okay?
Jabbar, property manager with Blue Metal Properties and team lead at the Midas Group at Core Realty. I just want to say hello and let you know a little bit about me. So I'm born and raised in Beaumont, Texas, and now live in Houston. And I've been here all my life, with the exception of traveling for the military, where I spent 10 years as a human resources specialist and IT specialist, where I learned the meaning of great service and what it means to be responsive and take everything seriously, dotting I's and crossing T's to make sure that things go off without a hitch.
See this normal guy? Normal, everyday guy, put on his blazer, got the good hair, went got groomed, put the discipline thing in the background, right? A normal, everyday guy. A normal, everyday guy. And this is the person that drove into all of the people and was radicalized, apparently by ISIS. This is the person that was radicalized, and then he got to the point to where he actually wanted to kill people.
I'm Shamsuddin Jabbar, property manager with Blue Metal Properties and team lead at the Midas Group at Core Realty. I just want to say hello and let you know a little bit about me. So I'm born and raised in Beaumont, Texas, and now live in Houston. And I've been here all my life, with the exception of traveling for the military, where I spent 10 years as a human resources specialist and IT specialist, where I learned the meaning of great service and what it means to be responsive and take everything seriously, dotting I's and crossing T's to make sure that things go off without a hitch. So I've taken those skills and applied them to my career as a real estate agent.
Somebody said, is this a suspect? No, this is the culprit. They actually found this guy. I mean, this is the guy that did it.
Where I feel like what really sets me apart from other agents is my ability to be able to, one, be a fierce negotiator. So not only do I brilliantly market your property to make sure it gets sold as quickly as possible or gets leased as quickly as possible, but I'm also going to take every ounce of energy and put it into negotiating for you and for your property to get the best deal that you can possibly get for it. So once we get to the closing table, all the I's are going to be dotted, all the T's are going to be crossed, everything's going to go off without a hitch. And that is my word that I'm giving to you as your real estate agent.
Your word, I can't trust your words, big dog. You see the difference? Do you see the difference? You see what happens? Well, first of all, let me just say something, y'all. If you dusty, it's just because most of the time you broke. Let's bring it back to a realistic lens, okay? If you are dusty, that means that your picture that you're taking when you get arrested, your mugshot, is going to make you look dustier. Most of the time, people that are dusty, they just going through some things. They just a little broker than usual. Because you see how he looked when he started getting into real estate. He made it out of the military. He worked in human resources. He was an IT specialist. He looked different. Listen, this is the guy that a lot of girls are saying you need to go outside and date outside so that you can go and get the guy that's going to take care of you. This is him. He show up to the date. He shake your hand. He tells you that everything is all right, and you can have his word that he's going to work as hard as possible at closing to ensure that you get all your I's dotted and your T's crossed. And you see what happened when he fell into disrepair? You see what happened when he fell into disrepair? When he turned into a crash dummy? That's what happens when you get dusty. Now you see why I look at you through the lens that I look at you through when you dusty. When I see dusty people and I go to their profile or I go to their YouTube page, or I see that they got a link back to their Instagram and I go to their Instagram page, I say, oh man, they don't hate me. They just broke. I'm going to break it down to you from a completely different lens than they going to give it to you on the news. Listen, Fox, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, when y'all make that offer, when y'all get into this bidding war for my services to see if I could join y'all network permanently, this is what you got to look forward to. Real talk. Real life and real talk. When I see some of these guys that's in my chat being player number 2, and oh my God, I hate you. Why are you always talking about yourself? You had to make it about you. And then I go to their profile and I say, okay, you know what? They don't hate me, they hate them. They don't hate me, they hate their circumstance, because at one point they might have been the guy on the left. But today, as they type in my chat, they're the guy on the right. They're the guy on the right. They don't hate me, they just dusty, they just tired. That's the same person, 2 different circumstances, 2 different financial situations. A lot of times radicalization come from being so broke that you get down the wrong rabbit hole on the internet because you're looking for a solution. Instead of turning to Jesus, you turn to a terrorist organization. Honest to God. And I go to their profile. Really, too, real talk. I do, because I'll be curious. I want to understand the users. I don't want to just understand the people that that want to get into the Patreon and rock out and run up a bag and all of that stuff. I want to get into and understand the people that may not be as dust free. And then I go to their profile picture and I say, he don't hate me. He just divorcing right now. I get it. He don't hate me. He just got two spare tires on his car. Where he got the second spare tire, I don't know. But he just got 2 spare tires on it. Oh, I get it. I get it now. He don't hate me. He just laid off. He just broke. Because we all go through it. I was broke in 2008 too. I was broke in 2008. My mental was all messed up. My beard started looking crooked. My gap in my teeth had got gappier. You know what I'm saying? Seemed like one eyebrow was higher than the other one. You find everything wrong with yourself once you become broke. You're like, good God, what is wrong with my head? Why is it crooked on one side? One of my ears started being a little bit more indented than the other one. Real talk. You like, good God. But when you got money, when you got moon night, see, they're going to be mad at this one. I promise you they're going to be mad at this one. When you got Monday, I don't even have to shave my beard. The ladies be defending me. Oh, no, listen. Girl, he not unshaven. He just hustling right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I got to shave my beard. They be like, I like the gray. That's just your wisdom whiskers. That's your wisdom whiskers. Oh, man, I thought I was looking a little dusty. But when you broke, that's when they saying, yeah, you need to go and get a makeover. It's just different. It's just different. When you got money and you don't shave, they say that you got wisdom whiskers. When you broke and you ain't shaved, you dusty. It just hit different. You walk different. You talk different. They could tell you dusty. Your shoes don't curl the same. You start doing stuff that you never did before, wearing Ugg boots, and trying to change your genes or something. I don't know what happens, but for whatever reason, it just turned different. People don't want to hear how smart. They don't want to hear your wisdom no more. You ain't as smart as you used to be. Yeah, this is what they say. No matter what you say, yeah, he always talking, but how come he ain't doing it for himself? This is how you turn into the person that is out here running into people on New Year's Eve and trying to find your tribe. Now your tribe ain't the bag chasers no more. Now your tribe is ISIS. You radicalized. You're a part of a cult. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. This is exactly how it fall. This is how it fall. You start, you know what I'm saying, wearing all kind of nonsense. You just be doing stuff. You be trying to figure out your way. Your t-shirts don't hang the same way on your body. It seems like every collar is drunk. You'll start wearing V-necks instead of regular tees. I went through that phase. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then all of your shirts ride up the same way. No matter how much you go to the gym, you can't lose no weight. And it ain't because you're not doing the right thing. It's because your pockets is wrong. No matter how much you go to the gym, you can't lose no weight. And it's not because you're not doing it the right way. It's because your pockets is wrong. Nothing fit. Your clothes don't fit the same way. You keep holding on to this. I'm gonna work that off. I'm gonna fit into that next year. No, you're not. You just gotta get some money. You just gotta get some money. They don't want to. Think about it. When you got money, you never have a problem getting your health insurance, like whatever it is, approved. Whatever claim you got going through, you could crash your car. You can purposely crash your car. Don't worry about it, Mr. Daniels. We got it. You're good. You holding on to that insurance, you get into a car accident, they going through your whole history. They trying to find out if you was behind on your car note to see if you was trying to intentionally crash your car. No, I'm just struggling right now. I still paid my insurance. We're going to send out an investigator out there to see what you're going on. That's how you turn into Luigi player number 2. This is how you turn into the guy that ran into the people in New Orleans. I'm trying to tell you that having the bag solves a multitude of problems. You know what? We lost some money on that. No worries. No worries. We're good. We're good. You walk different. You talk different. That's when you start being radicalized. You find yourself inside of people's comments. Hate watching. I hate you. I can't stand you. You and your chick be on the side of the road with a Bible trying to preach to people in another group with a whole other group of other guys that got dust on their head. Nobody got their hair brushed. No matter how much you brush your hair, you can't get no waves. No waves, no plays, no nothing. Your chick keep giving you that she feeling sorry for you. The box ain't even the same when you go home. Married or not, the box ain't even the same when you go home because you can tell when she love you, when she really enjoying you and life is good, it's a different type of box. You may be still getting boxed when you dusty, but it ain't the same. It's like it's that sympathy box. I'm gonna give you some so you can get your life together, or this is my duty as a. See, when you ain't got no money, it's the duty as a wife. When you got money, it's because you know what? I just believe you the greatest of all time. It's different. It's just you ain't even got to be giving her no money. You just got to have money, and that's the difference. See, you ain't got to be distributing the money. You just got to be the dude that got it, and so they just gonna do it because you just him. It's two different ways. It's two different people. You are, and the reason that I'm helping y'all to understand this is because I want you to understand who these radicals are. I need y'all to be situationally aware. I'm teaching you what a radical looks like. This is a life lesson for you. That's why it's called the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm teaching you the difference of having money versus not having money. When you, let me get this guy off my TV. He making my screen dusty. I feel like I got fingerprints on my screen right now. When you have money, all right, we are a doppelganger of ourselves. There are two different versions of us. I'm telling you the truth. It's the dusty you and it's the rich you. And it ain't no in-between. It's the dusty, because the in-between is you trying to struggle and determine whether or not you're going to fall into dust or if you're going to fall into greatness. If you're going to fall into radicalism or you're going to fall into righteousness. It's two different versions of you in this lifetime. You are a doppelganger of yourself. One of you are poor and the other one of you has everything. One of you are poor and the other of you have everything. And I could tell the difference in the people that's even in the chat that watch. The people that's going to respond to this video when we clip it up, it's going to be a difference. Yeah. You notice how think about it. Do you notice how everybody in Miami is beautiful? No matter what they do for a living. They all of them, it's a whole nother vibe. And then everybody that's in the suburbs of some Midwestern town is frumpy. They all got Wrangler jeans. And so then y'all, and this is the problem, y'all start to compare those people against people that's actually in a different environment that's trying to compete with each other. And you say, see, the women back in the day, they used to hold Big Daddy down. That's because they was in that small town. My family come from Dawson, Georgia. I know. All of the women in Bumble F, Ohio is frumpy. Freckles here, freckle there. Meth heads, dope fiends. Go to the barn for the hay rides. The only time that people come to your town is when it's seasonal so that they can come and pick pumpkins. But you go down to Miami, you go to some of these other places, everybody has just got it together. Beautiful, money, riches, greatness everywhere. Everybody talks like this. Everybody's teeth is beautiful. No gap. See that? No gap. It's different. All right, y'all. Listen, let's move over to the next. You are your own doppelganger. Take an honest look at your life and figure out which side that you're going to make a decision to be on. Africa, its credit, Anton Elon is an African. Give Africa its credit, Anton Elon is an African. No, Elon is an American. He was born in South Africa. It's a difference. Libra Justice says, I would be surprised if he gets a Department of Defense deal. If he gets a Department of Defense deal, don't be surprised. We selling Teslas all day long. Cybertrucks, baby. Just join the Patreon. So you decided to be the righteousness doppelganger. Shout out to you. Master Irrigation says, Democratic Party is crashing out. This is all a setup because of the election. I was going to talk about that today, but I'm going to pivot to something else. I got something else I want to share with y'all. Jerry says they're mentally deranged and anti-America. They were trying to send a message to Trump and Elon because they see them as public enemies. Number 1 and 2 is sad. Well, look at how God works. Turned it right back around on them and had them burn it up in their own coffin. There is no way this is a coincidence. Facts. See what happened when you go against what God has ordained to be good? 2025 fitness goal, 12 to 15% body fat. I like that, Aaron. Shout out to you, big dog. Debt Free Dad says, brokenness multiplies your flaws, don't it? You look at all the little frizzies inside of your eyelashes and all of that junk. That junk is crazy. Tax Club incoming? Maybe for tier. JT Coin Rings in the building says, salute Anton in the chat. I'm with you. Have y'all hit a like for the algorithm yet? Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Have y'all not done that? Because I don't see the likes to be commensurate. And I'm not sure if we have enough subscriptions. They got this thing. I can't see it on my side right now, but y'all can see it, where you can basically put a goal. And you can set goals for the chat before you start the live stream. Once you start live stream, you can say, I want 10 super chats, 5 super chats, 50 super chats. I don't care about that. I don't care about that goal. They need to have a goal for likes. All I care about is my goal for likes. Goal for likes, and if you've been here more than once, you should have a goal for subscriptions. Other than that, I don't really care about the rest of this. Anyways, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Let me check something to make sure I ain't leaving nobody out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ambush, says you should do a show called Pimp My Portfolio. I don't know about that. I'm not sure if that rings. Pimp my portfolio. Pimp my portfolio. I don't know. But I understand what you're saying. We're going to just have to rebrand it a little bit. You know what I'm saying, Ambush? Shout out to you, big dog. Thank you for the Cash App. Let me pivot to this one person real quick. I want to share this with you guys. All right. I like to give a highlight to all of my content creators out there, wherever you are, whatever you do, whether you do short form, long form. I appreciate you because I understand. I understand the grind. I understand the hustle. I understand what it takes to actually put this thing together. And far too often, we don't have the full conversation. Now, this guy in particular, and let me share his channel, because I always like to give credit to my content creators. His name is Fritz Gabriel. Fritz Gabriel. Fritz, somebody sent me this video, and I said that I watched the first 20 seconds of it. I said, I think we got something here. I think we got something here. We can share this with the Millionaire Morning Show. Fritz, and I will put a link back to his channel if we decide to clip this up. Fritz Gabriel, go and check out his channel if you guys are interested. From what I could tell, became a content creator. All right? Became a content creator. And in this video, he's saying that he quitting YouTube and he going back to his job. Let's see what he got to say, and then I'm going to give my insight, and we're going to go from there.
What's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Gabriel Show. Now, guys, check it out, man.
Did
you
it,
guys
Molly?
see the title, okay? No longer going to be a YouTuber in the year of 2025. All right, I made that executive decision. And so I want to
call it an executive decision. I like where Fritz is going. Fritz is saying, listen, I'm the executive of my life, and I'm going to make an executive decision. Let's get it, Fritz.
to just make this video to speak to you guys. And listen, it's not clickbait. I want to give you guys an explanation of my journey, okay? See, in 2022, I started my YouTube channel. I got inspired. You guys already know. When you see that there's a lot of people blowing up, making money on YouTube, don't lie to me. You want a piece of that, right? You want a piece of that cake. So just like everybody else, you know, I hopped on it. Now, let me tell you guys something, okay? There's the difference between like social media life and like real life, all right? Now, you see, before I even started my YouTube channel, I wanted to make sure that I was completely consumer debt free, because I didn't really want to be like struggling and not able to like make videos consistently like I want.
Fritz, I will say that I like the fact that your jacket is matching your interior of your car. I think that that's a great touch, big dog. Let's continue.
Because at the moment I was struggling back then. If you guys know my story, I was in a lot of debt. So I wanted to just get that out the way, right? So we did that, and you know, we got the YouTube channel popping, and it took some time, but in 2024, you know, my content started blowing up. You guys met me. Probably met me because I do a lot of different things, right? If I do say so myself, I could be a good storyteller. You know, I do a lot of skits, comedy. There's a lot of different things that I do, okay? And so this year was my breakthrough year, right? We hit 10,000 subs. You know, I got a couple viral videos. I'm able to share my perspectives in life, and I like that, right? But now let me tell you something, man. The success got to my head.
Y'all said his hat matched the headrest too? Y'all some wild people. Who said his hat matches headrest? Let me find that. Black hat to match the seats. Said his beanie matched the headrest. Y'all crazy, man. Let's continue. Let's hear his journey. He said he hit 10,000 subs and he blew up. He said he hit 10,000 subs and he blew up. I will tell you, on this channel, I think I got 315,000 subscribers. On the Anton Daniels channel, we approaching 500,000. On After Hours, we are approaching 70,000 subscribers. And on Room 9, which we about to get that popping, we're gearing up for that one. I think that they have close to 45 or 50,000 or something like that. Do you know that personally, I don't believe, and I have probably combined close to 900,000 subscribers. Combined, I have over 900,000 subscribers across all platforms. I don't feel like I made it yet. I don't feel like I've blown up yet. Is that crazy? You know what I'm saying? And I think that is part of it, is that I'm comparing myself against people that are ahead of me. I never look behind me. I always look ahead of me. And I do. I make an egregious amount of money. I'm not even going to cap. I make an egregious amount of money. From a financial perspective, ain't nobody they not messing with Time Dog. You know what I'm saying? They not really getting what we getting over here, because we bag chasers and we know how to monetize no matter what it is that we do. However, on the flip side, when it comes to visibility, I feel like I need more visibility. I don't think that I've made and I say it all the time, I say that we only at the tip of the iceberg. I said we only at the tip of the iceberg. I don't look at myself and say, yeah, I'm doing it. I don't look at it like that. I'll be like, you know what? If we got 4,000 in here, why we can't get 5,000? Why we ain't got 10,000 yet? Why do they got 10,000? What is it about them that's getting them 10,000 every single day? So I just look at it a little bit differently. But to say 10,000 and then I blew up, I can understand it, because I only really wanted 1,000 subscribers and I was going to be happy with that. But let's continue.
And what happened was, I made certain changes in my life, and God had to humble me. Okay, so what I mean by that is, I made a couple thousand on YouTube. Well, so far, well over $5 grand on YouTube, and within the time that I blew up. So I was like, oh wow, this is awesome. I don't really have to work as much. You know, if I just live below my means, I can survive on YouTube AdSense. And so what I did was, I transitioned from being full-time to part-time. And as a registered nurse, full-time hours isn't even that bad. It's 3 days a week, right? And then I said, nah, I'm good. Let me focus on the business. Let me do 2 days a week, and then 1 day a week. That's what part-time is. So 2 days.
Wait. So you're a registered nurse. And registered nurses, I heard that they do okay, right? A registered nurse does okay, right? So let me make sure I got this together. So y'all get 10,000 subscribers and y'all say I'm quitting my job, basically? Where they do that at? The C, let me read this real quick. Where they do that at? Anton, you're making 120 monthly from YouTube itself? No, I make way more than that. Don't think you've made it? Not even a little? Come on, man. I have been a registered nurse for 3 years. I made 87,000. I make way more than that. I make way more than that. Much, much more than that. Not even gonna cap. Real talk. I'm going to talk about it on the Patreon today, because I need to make that as a part of the conversation. I was talking to Jason Wilson. Y'all know who Jason Wilson is yesterday? We was talking about money and we was talking about working together. I make way more than that. Real talk. Here, I'll show you my last payout. This is my last payout. Oh, I got to flip that. I do. I make way more than that. That's not even a question. This is not a secret, so I always show my receipts. This is my last payout from 2 channels. 2 channels. So this is what I make. So that was my last payout. That's from 1 month. So from a financial perspective, yes, I do make an egregious amount of money. It is insane. It is absolutely insane. I make so much money. I'll never spend all of the money that I make in my lifetime. So from a financial perspective, yes, I make an insane amount of money. And it's not commensurate with my subscribers. I make way more than people that got over 1 million subscribers. All right. But how do y'all only get 10 is what I'm saying. Now think about this for a second. Let's put it in perspective. All right. Let's put it in perspective. People were sitting there talking stuff about me, about having a regular job. I had a regular job. Give me a second. I got to get the door.
2 days 1 week and 1 day the next week. So I completely cut back my hours, hoping and wishing and just betting on myself that I was going to blow up on YouTube, okay? Cool thing is, as a nurse, you're able to pick up if they need you. You know what I mean? So you're able to just pick up more hours and, you know. And so wifey believes in me, so she said, okay. And my wife, she cut down from full-time to per diem, all right? Because we paid off our debt, and I said, hey, listen, let's just give this a shot. You know, we could be YouTubers, and I can make this YouTube money, yada, yada, yada.
Let me say this though. What I was basically getting at is how do you? I was working because I don't want to go back into the office because it won't be conducive to what it is that I do for a living from a content creation perspective. I said I was still working. I still take all of the bags. If somebody offers me today, if somebody offers me a package that equates to $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, even $280,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. I could run it from home. It doesn't interfere with anything that I got going on from a business perspective or from a content creator's perspective. I'm taking it. I'm taking it. I'm going to get that bag. People still laugh at me because I take regular jobs if the offer is commensurate from what it is that I want to do in addition to whatever it is that I get for a living. We are so backwards as a culture where people think that because you are getting other bags, I still get the same comments over and over again. Yeah, man, if you a millionaire, why you still getting why you still taking regular jobs? Because I like making more money. Why wouldn't I do it? That don't even make no sense. Why would I not? And this dude is talking about how he sent this chick. Okay, hold on. Let me back up for a minute.
So you're able to just pick up more hours and, and so wifey believes in me. So she said, okay. And my wife, she cut down from full-time to per diem. All right. Because we paid off our debt. And I said, hey, listen, let's just take this.
I'm about to start DoorDash and Uber Eats too while we at it.
It's a shot. We could be YouTubers and I could make this YouTube money, yada, yada, yada. And what had happened was my job cut the hours. And when you're part-time, insurance is way more expensive. I'm paying over like $700 a month, basically $800 a month for insurance. And so my job cut the hours. They stopped giving hours. I was working at a nursing home, and you guys know I quit. That video went viral. And I quit all my side jobs, all my per diems. And I was just depending on my part-time job and my YouTube AdSense revenue.
Let me tell y'all this, another lesson for everybody that want to get into, forget just YouTube, just business in general. Do not quit your regular job. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Do not quit your regular job. If this thing is the thing that you think is going to make the most sense for you, then you can do both. And you need to figure out a way to do both. Figure out a way to do both. Figure out a way to do both. Do not quit your regular job. I don't understand why people do that. I'm going to lower my hours. No, I'm going to get more hours, and then I'm going to take the money that I'm getting to reinvest in what it is that I got going on over here. Your greatest asset is your ability to earn. You don't hit 10,000 subscribers, 20,000. You don't hit 50,000 subscribers, 60, 70, 80. Sometimes not even 100,000 subscribers and quit your regular job if you me. I'm like, that's cool, but we going to run 3 businesses over here. I'm going to still work this regular job and I'm going to level up in corporate America. And I'm going to work on my craft over here. I want all of it. And I'm going to invest every dime that I get back into myself, back into my businesses, back into what it is that I got going on. Every dollar got to be spent. Every dollar got to be spent.
Now, what happened was life slapped me in the face. I got humbled, okay? my revenue went from being over thousands of dollars, right? Getting paid $2,000 a month, getting paid all this money, to now in December, I'll be lucky if I get over $100. Okay? And so it's actually very funny if you think about it. If you think about it, it's pretty funny. It can show you how God can humble you. I went from making all this money on YouTube. I had to get humbled from my nursing career. They were telling me, hey, man, what happened to your YouTube channel? I thought you was making money. And
so he was over there telling his friends, yeah, man, I'm a YouTuber. One thing that I said in my video yesterday is I said I kept whatever it is that I did to myself. I did not share what I was doing from a content creation perspective at this position that I was just at. I kept everything to myself. I was not interested in having any pushback from anybody. And I started getting real visible. That's why I really didn't care to stick around. But I kept all of my stuff to myself. There's no reason. I don't have to tell you nothing. Now people, hey man, what happened to your little YouTube thing? Huh? What happened to your little YouTube job? You said you was a content creator. You making $100 a month.
I was like, yeah, I thought so too. You know, went from getting thousands of views to, you know, getting like hundreds of views. And you guys know that's how we get paid, by the views, because it's like AdSense.
Wrong.
You know,
you don't get paid by the views. You do not get paid by the views, but if you want to learn more about that, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description.
These companies want to play commercials, so I appreciate you guys who watch the commercials and watch it through. One of them might pop up right now. Make sure you watch the entire thing. All right? Buy the product while you at it. But in all honesty, I was low-key struggling. And I make videos about it. And those videos went viral because at one point I really couldn't afford groceries because I was getting no hours. And at the same time, I was still maxing out my 401k. I had a choice. I could have stopped contributing to my 401k and, you know, stop struggling and ask my boss to switch back to full time. But instead, I make videos about it and I showed you guys. And
no, ask your boss, can you get some more hours, big dog? R. Laura says, I'm starting a channel this year as a hobby, not a job. But work it like a job. Work it like a job. Work, our Lord, listen, no matter what you do, I don't care if it's a channel, I don't care if it's a separate business, I don't care. Work it like a job. It may be a hobby because it may not necessarily be generating revenue for you to live off of, but work it like a job. At no point in my journey with any business or content creation have I ever let my foot off the gas. I've always scaled up, always scaled up, always scaled up. Work it like a job. I don't care if you don't make no money. You need to be putting in the effort like it's the only thing that you got. Everything I have, I work it like it's the only thing that I have. Work it like a job. Don't sleep on it. Treat it like you are the greatest person in the world. You have to have the lens, or you have to look at it from the lens like, what would I be doing if I had 1 million subscribers? I'm dressing for the job that I want, not the job that I have. I'm dressing for the subscribers that I want, not the subscribers that I have. How would I be operating? That is the lens that I look at it as. I work it like a job. I don't sleep. I don't miss. I don't do none of that.
At one point, I had to send my wife to work. And she was going to work a lot and a lot and a lot. Ooh. And I was like, damn, this isn't the life I promised you. I want you to be here with my son. And honestly, guys, I had to learn how to really manage with my son because I'm used to just going to work. You know what I mean? So I had to learn a lot. I got really nice. I've always changed diapers because of work, but I got fast with it. I could change a diaper with one hand.
Hell no. Hell no. See, this is where we differ. I go get 2 or 3 jobs before I send you to work with a little baby. I had to send my chick to work. Now, let me make sure that I preface this by saying that I'm not against women working and I'm not against people working together or she going to work to make sure she take care of business or whatever. But with a little baby, I'm not staying home and changing no diapers. You can stay home and change diapers. I'll go out and get a second job. Let me say that again. I'm not working part-time and then you working overtime. I'm not working part-time and then you working overtime. When we got a baby, listen, you stay home with the baby, you change the diapers, I'll go get 3 jobs. And I'll do content on the side. Now, I may not be as visible for you. I may not be home that much because I got to go and get this bag. Listen, for the next few years, the baby ain't even going to know what's going on anyway. They're not even going to remember before they 4 or 5 years old. Just you hold down at home. I'll go take care of the business. I'm going to go run up the bag. I'm not staying home and changing not a mother effing diaper. I'm not the type, I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not the type of guy to be sitting home with you under the baby. I don't want to kick it with you that much. I understand you got to be here. I got to be here for you and all of that, but I'll go get 3 jobs, 4 jobs, and be working on this thing from a business perspective before I sit home and change diapers and then you go out there and work overtime. I'm just different. So I move different. I operate different. I'm not sending you to work on that type of time. Nah.
And so you guys see me making videos, me being at home with my son, spending that quality time. And I talk about how that's the best thing ever. That's the best feeling ever. Nah. But at the same time, I put myself in a position where I was depending on YouTube AdSense. And I realized that's not smart. You know what I mean? Now, let me tell you why I say I'm quitting becoming a YouTuber in 2025. I know how to make viral videos. I know how to make review videos. I know how to do all the nice effects. If I sit down at home, trust me, I can make a lot of videos like reviewing stuff. But you know what? To be real with you, that takes time. Anybody here who's a content creator, that takes time. Editing a video takes time. And at the end of the day, we still got bills. You feel me? We still got bills to pay. I have a goal, to be real with you, okay? And that's to pay off my mortgage. That's the journey I'm on now. All right? We have $128,000 left on my mortgage. And What I'm doing now is documenting the journey. I'm no longer a YouTuber because I'm not following the trends. I'm not following what the algorithm wants me to post. I'm posting whatever I want, bro. I don't care how much money I make. Like I said, if we get $100 this month, guess what, man? I'm buying some diapers and I'm calling it a day. But I'm still posting, right? I'm still showing up every single day. You're gonna get tired of seeing my big head on your screen, on your home screen. You're gonna be like, this guy again, damn it. But the thing is, I made a decision to change my life, to be in control of my destiny. I don't want to depend on anybody. I don't want to depend on my job. I don't want to depend on YouTube. I don't want to depend on a second job. I want to have complete control of my time, right? Complete autonomy. I don't know if I said the word right. I'm on a path to achieve financial freedom. At the same time, I'm putting God first. So this is a journey that I'm on. It's a spiritual journey. It's a physical journey because we're about to go to the gym, right? I'm a pre-diabetic. We got to fix that up. And it's also a financial journey. So in 2025, I'm going to be making a lot of sacrifices. I'm telling you guys, I got an interview coming up, but they already told me. They see my resume. They seen everything I got going on. They said, boy, you basically got the job already, man. And I'm by the name of Jesus Christ, I know I got it. But
listen, shout out to him. It's turning into a motivational video, and I'm cool with that. I think that resonates with his audience, hopefully. And again, his name is Fritz. Let me see if I can get that up there. Hold on. Fritz Gabriel. Shout out to Fritz Gabriel for being a believer, and shout out to him for telling his story and being transparent. I think that takes a lot of courage to just give it out there. I got to give him credit where credit is due. I know I'm criticizing some of the missteps because, that's what we do. We want to learn from the mistakes and all of that stuff. But at the same time, I got to give him some credit and I got to give him a round of applause. And the reason why I'm giving him credit and giving him a round of applause is because at the very least, he's willing to learn. He's willing to make sacrifices, take a step back, adjust, work harder. And he didn't give up. But more importantly, he's authentic. That's what I love about him. I love the fact that he is authentic. He seems like a guy that is humble enough to learn and then adjust and then really get it. I think that he's going to be okay. Yeah, he's young. He's probably more recently married, got a kid or whatever. You're not going to have it all 100% figured out. But you know what he is? He's authentic. He's real. He's authentic and he's real. And he's documenting the journey like I tell people to do all the time. And what that does is it builds character. It shows your future subscribers and the people that's rocking with you now who you are and why they should stick around with you. And you can't beat authenticity, no matter what state that you're in, whether you're doing well or you're going through some stuff. The fact that he's authentic and the fact that he's keeping it real and he's just telling you what the truth is about what's going on with his life and he's transparent is what make these videos enjoyable for me. And that's one of the reasons why I like to support certain content creators. So I gotta give him some love. I gotta show him some love. That's dope. I think that he's awesome. I like the fact that he's self-aware. I like the fact that he's cooking. It's some stuff that I don't necessarily care about, but that I wouldn't do. I'm not going to criticize him for it. I just say that I'm not changing no diapers. That's not me. I'm not changing no diapers. I'm not sending my chick to work while I change diapers. Now, I don't mind her working while I work too, especially if you don't have kids. But if you got a small kid, you stay home with the kid. I'm going to go ahead and get it. And he's a registered nurse. I don't understand. Like, you should be able to get more opportunities. Registered nurses, and I'll go out of town. I'm traveling nurse, all of that stuff. I'm going to get it. But shout out to him. I hope that everything works out for him. And I'm going to, again, if I clip this up, I'll put the link to his channel in the description. I think that is a good. Y'all said fix his face. Here, let me see if he's talking about anything else.
if I get this job, I'm going to be getting paid the most I ever gotten paid before in my life. So I'm excited for that, but it's going to be nights. And I'm still keeping the job I have now. It's going to be days.
Okay, go get it then, big dog. I like that. So he good. He going to figure it out. He going to figure it out. They going to figure it out together. Shout out to them. Shout out to the married couples and shout out to the people that's trying to work it out. All right. Yeah, I think that'll be enough for today. I'll reserve my next one for tomorrow. Something that I was going to talk about in addition to that. I'll hold that out until tomorrow. And we're going to get it. We're going to get it. Listen, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I'm about to read some of these super chats. And I'm going to push the Patreon live stream to 2:30 because, this went a little bit longer than I expected it to. I'm going to push it to 2:30 just to make sure that I got my talking points, my presentation, my visual references down together. I'm going to push it out to 2:30, and then we're going to rock out with the Patreon live stream today. 2:30 Eastern, adjust for your time zone. Let me read some of these super chats, and then I'm going to get y'all up out of here. Oh, and before y'all leave, make sure y'all subscribe, turn on your notifications, and hit a like for the algorithm. Best and quickest way to level up at 27. It depends on what you got going on, but I'm going to say that guys that are in their 20s should be spending all of their time getting skill sets, education, minimizing debt, and not worrying about impressing people or buying things that they don't need. The best way to level up is to eliminate all of the distractions from your life. I don't think you should start spending money till you at least 35. As a man, I don't believe that you should start spending money. And when I say spending money, I'm talking about starting to show that money, get to it. And if it's later than that, then it's later than that. Between 35 and 40, after you've made the sacrifice for the last 5 to 10 years, is when I think you should start spending money. The best way to level up is to reduce everything. Reduce everything. I mean, to as low as you can possibly get it. Reduce your cost of living. Reduce the amount of money that you're spending on rent. Get a roommate. All of that stuff. Whoever it is that's around you, they should be in the trenches with you. Whoever it is that's around you, they should be in the trenches with you. You should not be spending money as a man, until you are 35 to 40 years old. That's when life really take off. Because think about it like this. You can spend money now and you can have fun. And that don't mean that you can't have fun, because I also believe that fun is based off of the people that's doing it. There's some people that do some really expensive stuff and they don't have no fun. And then there's people that just go walk in the park and play ball all day and they have a ball. So it's plenty of things that you can do that's free or little or nothing that allows for you to have fun and all of that stuff. You can do stuff all the time and have fun, but I don't think that people should be spending no real money. Don't buy no cars, no expensive cars. Don't go out there and spend a bunch of money on trips or flights, first private flights trying to impress people. Don't start spending money until you in your at least closer to 40, bro. But you need to level down as far as your lifestyle and throw everything you have into investing in yourself. The biggest investment is yourself, your earning potential, your education, all of that stuff. And then after you get past that barrier, throwing everything you have into assets and investments. And then once you start to see that manifesting, you can start spending some money. And you can, and here's the biggest problem, right? Here's the biggest lens that you can look at it through. You can have a little bit of fun now and then suffer, or you can suffer and then do what you want to do for the rest of your life. You can have 50 years of fun after you make the sacrifice, or you can be limited to the things that you can do because you don't have as many options. That's the way I look at it. I'd rather make the sacrifice for the first 5 to 10 to 15 years. Think about it like a doctor. Think about it like a surgeon. They go through 10, 15 years of schooling, but when they get out, they earn it for the rest of their life. They can do whatever they want for the rest of their life. That's why doctors are so irresponsible. They're some of the most irresponsible people with their money. Doctors have some of the most irresponsible budgets ever. You know why? Because they know they're going to make some more money next year. They need to do things differently but they have that safety net because they made the sacrifice early, and they was willing to be broke for a long time. And so they frivolous, they reckless with their money because they know that they're going to make a whole nother bag next year. And if they mess that up and they trick that off, then they're going to make a whole nother bag the year after that. Now, they got some stuff that they got to fix as far as how it is that they manage their finances, but That's the reason that they do that. It's because they made the sacrifices, and so they can do what they want to do when they want to do it for the rest of their life. They have the most debt ever and don't give a piss. Trust me, I've coached so many doctors on their finances. I've seen some of the most egregious things, and they be like, well, we'll make it back next year. Telling you. So, that's the best advice that I can give you. That's the best advice that I can give you, wise guy. Patrick Bowie says, thank you, Anton, for telling us the truth, keeping us informed, and opening our minds and entertaining y'all, because y'all just be laughing the whole time that I be talking. News says cyber attack was a U.S. soldier. Yep, both of them was. And a person that was in New Orleans. They was a former soldier also. What in the World TV says portfolio pimping is a name to use. Okay, so y'all want me to do portfolio pimping. All right. Chad Thomas says, I just became a bag chaser yesterday. Crazy how much game you showing for only $15. They don't know. You're the only YouTuber showing earnings and receipts. Respect. Shout out to the new chasers. I would understand part-time if it was 10K Patreon subs, but just use it. Man, you know how hard it is for most people to get that? I got like 14,000, I think, something like that. And I'm one of the biggest people on Patreon. Again, stay down until you come up with a solution. Don't jump up and get slapped in the face of life. Shout out to What in the World TV. My girl Jerry in the building says, he was thinking about those bills when he quit his good job to do YouTube full. He's D&D, dumb and you can pay an editor. The issue isn't anything he's saying, it's his knowledge. Nah, I do everything myself before I start paying somebody else because I need to understand it before I give somebody else the job. I need to know what they're doing. You all join the Chasers, please. Tim said that. Y'all just need to do whatever y'all gonna do. The information is out there. The opportunity is out there. We live streaming this afternoon. It's up to y'all what y'all do with it. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I think y'all are the greatest audience on earth. Always. Always the greatest audience on earth. And thank y'all for holding me down. It's going to be an incredible year. I got great things ready for y'all. It's going to be an incredible year. Bag Chasers, I'm going to see y'all shortly in a couple hours. And after hours is tonight. We getting it popping. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.